me and Ryan have been officially welcomed to the jungle that is Barstool Sports.
I brought it toward the Coyotes, and I asked them if it was okay if I joined the Spittin Chiclets podcast full time.
Ryan Whitney's got a pink Whitney out there now.
Hey, this is a sandbagger. Get that on camera.
Peakin, the song man, is a full-time member.
Marley just got an assist from
Chris Beach. Whoa, we're buzzing right now. Sonk.
What is up, folks? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 596 of the Spittin Chiclets podcast, presented by Discover, sponsored by Discover, the official credit card of the NHL. No matter if your team wins or loses, Discover is there for you. With the Discover IT card, you can earn cash back on every purchase. So celebratory wings just got even better. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Cash back on team gear, cash back on tickets, cash back on fries, etc., etc. The Discover NHL Winter Classic is taking place on January 2nd in Miami, Florida. Tune into TNT and Biz. Get cash back on every purchase with the Discover IT card. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Boys,
can we actually let's tease it, and maybe he'll catch wind that we potentially might have an interview locked up at the Winter Classic with Tom Brady.
Oh man,
Wow.
yeah, I don't want to give that. It's going to be tough if we don't get it now, but maybe a little pressure from Chiclets fans.
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Exactly. I hear you. He's
Biz.
With
I
Noble.
like that. He's a big Noble guy. He's part owner of the company, if not majority owner of the company. And you know, they're an official shoe of the NHL now, right? They're athletic gear. And
So
I'm on
to do
board
it.
too. So we got to do it. I mean, come on, Tommy. We need you to get the go. I mean, G would cream his pants if we got Tom Brady on the podcast, especially live. Imagine seeing that guy in the flesh, that handsome bastard.
Imagine him shaking G's skinny hands.
But if he says, "Oh, come on," but G can't be there, do we still do it?
Oh, God, yeah. We'll see you, G. I love you. We'll see you next week for episode 632. Get a good outline going, buddy, and we'll tell you what Tom said. It was a blast talking to him. And I will say, we don't have Tom Brady lined up. Let's hope. Let's cross our fingers. But we just finished an interview about an hour and 20 minutes with Marian Gaborik. That was excellent. I hope all you guys enjoy this one. What a great guy. What a career he had. Some stories. I never heard some of these stories. And just an elite level skater. So good at skating that he basically injured himself because he was too fast. That's kind of what it came down to. But I think everyone's going to really enjoy this. First thing we do have to get to is Biz has spent the last 2 nights on TNT.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
you were being called out, not as a fraud, but the statement was made that if you lost another busy bets, you were going to shave your head. Or it was Panarin that I think had you shave your head. But you kind of half-assed it. That's what the world was saying. That's what the internet was saying. You haven't seen this, Biz? You're acting crazy? You haven't seen the comments, how you half-assed it? He went to the wood. You didn't go to the wood, and then the Leafs got taken to the woodshed.
I know, but I can't go to the wood because I have Shane Battier's Sharpay head.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah. I got a weird back to my head.
Wow.
So if I go down to the wood, there's areas in the crevices where I can't get to it. It looks even weirder.
No, I didn't know that.
Batty.
Makes total sense.
Yeah, no, I mean my brain's deflating, so it doesn't fill up my whole skull.
Oh,
I
So
always
don't do
wondered, is
that.
that just born like that? How does that happen to people?
I just think that guys like Jeremy Oblonsky and John Morassi beat my head in. So
I'm glad I brought this up. So anyone out there saying Biz didn't go full into it, you could.
Thank you for not.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you see me shave my head down to this short and you say that I'm a fraud, you're a fucking clown. This is a number 3. Now, mind you, I went in to get a haircut. And it was my regular guy was not there, and I said, I'll just do that guy, and that didn't work out great to the point where I was like, just shave it. So tough.
Oh.
We were connecting offensive chemistry like the Rangers did at MSG for the first 7 games of the season. But hey, at least we figured things out. Now I look like Artemi Panarin. I am buzzing just like him. So aside from my shitty head here, I got bigger fish to fry. My Toronto Maple Leafs look lost right now. Austin Matthews week to week now with an injury. So I'm in a depressive state.
I saw an incredible, it was a tweet mentioning that since Matthews has come to Toronto, they've traded 41 draft picks, including 7 first rounders for just a a couple losses in the second round. Kind of crazy. And now people are discussing how much they need someone like Rasmus Andersson. Tanev is out. That guy completely changes the blue line. But overall, a very, very slow team. And I watched Boston beat him for the second game in a row, 5-3. That was Tuesday night. Matthews leaves the game with injury. Stolar's also injured, I believe. He'd been playing very poorly even leading up to it. It's a tough time. And I'm not anyone to sit here and gloat. Like, my team's on a winning streak, but we got lucky with an offsides in Philadelphia, or else we weren't getting a point in that game. So it's not like I'm sitting here laughing at you, but things aren't good in Toronto, and it's going to get very, very ugly if they don't fix things. Would you say from the media point of view?
And a couple people were, well, first of all, Stolarz is tired. Well, they need the 1-2 punch back, right? They need to get that tandem buzzing again. Obviously depleted on the back end. They got a couple AHLD in the lineup right now. The Matthews hit. Some people were complaining about it. That was a fucking nothing burger from Zadorov, just playing physical. And some people, based on last year, were like, oh no, we're stuck with Zadorov at the money that we're paying him for as long as we are. I would say one of the biggest complete 180s from a fan base in recent memory. He's playing like a man possessed, and he's helping instill that big bad Bruins team again. That's what their identity has always been, a hard team to play against. And Wayne was actually talking about after watching Game 6 when they played Vancouver in the finals years back, where he's like, oh no, Vancouver's in tough here. That team just fucking beat the shit out of them, and they play as hard as a team that I've ever seen play. So credit to Zadorov and the rest of that group. 7 in a row for the Bruins.
Crazy.
Good start. I think they rattled off 3 in a row to start the year. Then they went on that losing skid, and it seems like Marco Sturm's really righted the ship, and they're responding well to what he's got going in the locker room. And going back to the TNT, because that was Game 1, that was kind of the appetizer for the two big dogs in the West, right? You had the Anaheim Ducks, who are trying to achieve a level of what we've seen out of the Colorado Avalanche over the last 4 or 5 years, and sustained dominance. Well, at least in the regular season, they did have their cup, but I thought that was a great measuring stick game. I know it ended 4-1, but I was very impressed with this young group in Anaheim, and not only how fast they are, but how they can hang with them defensively. Like they weren't giving up a ton. Like that was just a good, fast, tight checking game with a little bit of everything. So I don't know what you guys thought of it. Obviously, right now, Colorado is in a league of their own. They're playing at a different level, but what did you make of that game, seeing what Anaheim brought?
I got to say, I can't believe how good Trouba looks. I looked it up, okay? And I didn't... Shame on me for not really understanding, like, his offensive game.
Oh, yeah.
He's got 11, he's got 11 points in 16 games this year. He had a 50-point season in Winnipeg. He has 2 years in the league with double-digit goals. Him already having 4 this year makes me think he'll probably hit it again this year, considering how Anaheim can skate and score with anyone. And I'm just like, wow, because he had that assist. I think he had an assist in that game, right?
I thought it was a goal where he banked it off of the end wall.
Yeah, Carlson ended up banging. He came around the net and gave it to Carlson. He made it 1-1.
That's right.
But
That's right.
that game, it was funny because I was excited for that. And it was like Makar to McKinnon to Lehkonen 20 seconds in. It's like, okay, welcome to the big leagues, boys. But then they answered pretty quick. Leo Carlson almost had a complete highlight reel goal for his second goal of the night. It ended up being saved. But McKinnon is just totally busy. I think it was last episode. Like, he is the best player in the world right now. It's not even close. He has 12 points in his last 3 games. Makar is the best defenseman in the world. That's not even close. I know we could get into a scary moment in Vancouver where Quinn Hughes left the game. They lost again to Winnipeg Tuesday night. He had 3 assists, though, so he came back. I think he's okay, but it doesn't look, and granted, Vancouver is not Colorado. Like, the Quinn Hughes-Makar argument of last year, it's not even like the same planet right now. And part of that has to do with teammates and all that. But that game was basically like Colorado. They're unstoppable. Landeskog gets his first. Nichushkin's out there running around. It's just they are the cream of the crop right now in the NHL.
So there was two things I want to talk about from that game. Did you guys see the high stick from Natchez on Killorn that Quenneville was losing it on?
Yes.
I don't think Natchez has a mean bone in his body, and that was clearly a follow through. Quenneville kind of made it seem like he like stabbed him in the eye after the follow through. What did you guys make? I respect the shit out of Q just because he's trying to stick up for his guy. Obviously, he was hoping for the 5-minute major so they would have a chance to maybe tie that game up. But he's probably just defending his guy in Killorn, who's been an incredible veteran for that lineup and helping advance a lot of these guys, from being young bucks in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, Jans, you played for him. Like, what did you make of it?
Yeah, that's how he is. Like, he's going to go to bat for his guys all the time. At least in that situation too. It's not like after the game where you have time to see the replay and then you can look at it. Like in the heat of the game, you're going to get full raw dog Q, and he's going to have your back, and that's why he's a player's coach, and you can tell that, and you can just tell by the way that they're playing for him right now. But I don't think it was as bad as he thought it was.
Yeah, another thing I took away, LA seems to be quietly like figuring things out. And I didn't know they dusted Montreal. They've won the last 9 games against the Canadiens. So some teams you just have your number against them. So they went into Montreal and kind of cleaned them up pretty easily. Celebrini was insane again against the Wild Tuesday night. He had I don't know if you saw Will Smith's goal, Biz. They won an OT. Celebrini had a sick pass to Colin Graff. He buries it. The first goal of the game for San Jose, Will Smith's, Celebrini comes in. He kicks it wide. He ends up getting it back. Toffoli finds him with this 6-seam pass. He goes through the crease to Smith. I was like, whoa. That was like off the rush. It was excellent. Celebrini gets 2 apples. Smith scores again. They kind of keep humming along, dude. The Sharks at the beginning of the year, we were like, what is going on? He's going to give up a child. And David
He's
Ryan
got no more kids.
Yeah, he gave all his kids away, and he's winning. So, if you're an NHL coach, you'll take it. That's how competitive this league is. But I was like, looking at the numbers, reading about the Wild. Now, the Wild have figured things out a little bit. They're 4-1-1 in their last 6.
Because Zook's back.
Zook's back, which has made a huge difference. But how about Tuesday night? Kaprizov's line in that game against San Jose outchanced 17-3 at 5-on-5. So I know that there's some people saying they need a little bit more from Kaprizov. He has, I think, 22 points in 18 games, so it's not like this guy isn't producing. But when you're getting dominated at 5-on-5 like that, that is kind of surprising. But I guess there was a players-only meeting for the Wild. Spurgeon called it. They have figured things out a little bit. It's just this league is so competitive right now. There's in the Eastern Conference, I think the entire league or the Eastern Conference, there's 5 teams under 500. So every single night, even the Sharks, Chicago looks completely different. And shout out again to Jeff Blashill for coming on. The Blackhawks fans love that. He's very animated. And Biz, that game, the Devils kind of dominated them, but still, the Hawks didn't go away. The atmosphere in there looked like it was back in 2010.
Exactly. That was like when they scored that power play goal 5-on-3. That looked like the old United Center when they won their 3-cup dynasty. So it's great to see, man, when the United Center's bumping like that. I think that Frank the Tank was in attendance with Stu Feiner and his wife, and they were with one other guy, and then the mascot, is it Tony the Hawk?
Is it
or Tommy the Hawk? Tommy the Hawk.
Yeah, Tommy Hawk.
He went up and gave him like a Tommy the
like
Hawk masks to put on Frank, because I want to say it was Frank's. Is Frank 50? He might have just turned 50, and that was his birthday gift from Stu. So happy birthday if it is Frank's birthday. But what were we talking?
Happy birthday, Frank the Tank.
Biz, how about Witt getting some under the hood stats there? You're changing a little, Witty. You're changing.
He's talking about my 17-3 outscoring chances. I read that in an article. I think it was Russo in The Athletic. The guy's dialed in with the Wild. I believe the article was by him. Let me see here. Right here. Just talking about Minnesota.
Whitney.
No, it was Joe Smith. It was Joe Smith. What we've learned is they've pulled out of a season opening skid. Just kind of checking up on the Wild. I really like Wild fans. I think it's Wild fans and Blue Jacket fans. I have a lot of respect for, and I believe they came into the league the same year. Maybe G looked that up right around the same time. But
yeah, I think you're right.
Another thing that shocked me in reading up of Tuesday night's games is Washington. They went into Carolina. They whooped up on them, right? Carolina, Biz, right now, their power play is clicking at 12%. They're 31st out of 32. And
Who's
there
worse?
is zero chance you will do a thing come playoff time without a power play.
You know who helped their power play?
Who you got?
Marty Natchez.
Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
ironically,
Actually,
you bring that up because I also saw a
Rantanen.
tweet that, Keith, I'll go to you on this. I think, you know the meme of the guy with all the swords pointed at him and it's like, give me a take that would get this type of reaction? The tweet was that Carolina is better off with Stankoven, Colorado's better off with Natchez, and Dallas is better off with Rantanen. So basically, like, the trade
Yeah,
really
everybody
worked
won.
out with all of them.
That's fair.
yeah,
Kind of an
I-
everybody winner.
Yeah.
Stankoven doesn't have the name power, I don't think yet, but I think he's earning it.
Hey,
Buddy.
how about him stepping up the other
I
night?
know, I
Who'd he
loved it.
fight Faraday?
Farabee, and it was his
Farabee.
first ever fight in anything, he said.
Buddy, he looked like a
Good for
fucking
him.
nail gun he hopped in
Who
for
was
somebody.
the guy behind the net that didn't do anything originally?
Yeah.
Walker?
I don't know, but he hopped in for his teammate. So when I
Right.
saw that, then all of a sudden that sword take is very fair.
And he gave
And
it
I take my Natchez comment back.
he gave it like the hair back with the blood dripping
Yeah.
down.
Oh
like-
yeah,
like,
Just
you know,
profile
if you're
pic
a
on
female,
Raya.
no shit. Switched it up. That's why he did it.
that's a perfect
always
one to
another
have
reason.
if you're into that type of stuff. Very, very. And like he said after, I really actually enjoyed it. I'm like, I don't know. That's a statement where all of a sudden, you know, you got Olivier. Like, hey, I heard you like fighting. You want to go? And shout out Trent Frederick. Trent Frederick took a lot of heat, and we talked about it with Stoff on Monday about, you know, he hasn't been necessarily doing much since he became a member of the Oilers. Dude, he fought that maniac Olivier, and he took a beat down. But that is so powerful within the room. Like,
Showing
dude,
up.
every guy on that team knows you got no business fighting him. His eyes all swollen up. But I think that shows a lot. I think it shows, like, he's sick and tired of kind of maybe hearing some of those rumblings. Like, what are you going to do for us here? You know, Stoff mentioned he's got 17, 18 goal seasons, but he showed up. And that Olivier is nails. Biz, is it Olivier or Delorier if they're going toe-to-toe in your mind right now? Like, they're both pretty much the same, right?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Both
Yeah.
mutants. I think that Delorier's got better dance moves. I think we saw that at in South Florida at what's the bar called again?
Elbow room.
But I would definitely say that from a well-rounded player standpoint, Olivier probably holds that title. Contributes a little bit more as far as gameplay. One other thing from that Carolina-Washington game, another unreal performance by Logan Thompson.
Yeah.
And the conversation, I feel like this should be more of a conversation than Bedard or Celebrini being on Team Canada. Logan Thompson, if he continues these numbers, he has to be on that team. If he's not on that team, there needs to be some form of fucking investigation done because he is being fucked royally because he's the best Canadian goalie on the planet over the last 18 months. Not taking away anything from Binnington. It's hard to judge a guy when he's playing on a team that's had a very tough start. We know what Binnington can do when the chips are on the table. He's got a Stanley Cup, dominated that final game at the Four Nations. But right now, Logan Thompson is a top 3 goalie for Team Canada. Am I crazy or am I not?
No doubt. No, but I do think no matter what, Binnington's starting the first game of the Olympics. Like you kind of go with what you know. Like, as you said, the bigger the game, the better he plays. He would have to be like, he's on the team no matter what. He would have to really be struggling to not get that opener in Italy come February. But after that game, who knows?
Remember they did it with Marty Brodeur, and then Luongo ended up coming in because Marty wasn't playing as good. I could see it the same exact way. I think Canada has like some type of loyalty with that, and you know, at the end of the day, he did win them that Four Nations tournament last year, and he was the best player for the team. But yeah, I agree with you too, Biz. Logan Thompson should 1,000,000% be on that team.
And another one that when I was talking about that Colorado and Anaheim game, the other name I was going to bring up was Wedgewood. because we had him on post game. Unbelievable breakdown of what he's seeing. I don't know if you guys caught that clip, but he should be an analyst when he finished. He said he's coming from my job. You can fucking take it. He's a Canadian guy. And his numbers this year are incredible. He's played, 14 games so far this year because Blackwood's been banged up a little bit. He's got a 2.26 goals against average with a 913 save percentage with 10 wins. So
leads the league in wins.
He leads the league in wins. He's obviously one of those guys that's on the outside looking in. But if this continues, man, this guy's been a journeyman. He's played for 5 different teams. I was in Arizona announcing when he was there. Beloved, great backup, supportive teammate. And I don't know, man, he's got the pedigree. He's 6'2", doesn't look like he's that big. And he can move. A great skater, great edge work. And I don't know, man. What do you guys think?
I think if you want to be on Team Canada, you just come on TNT and do an interview with Biz, and you're gonna get his vote.
That in the Hall of Fame. That in the Hall of Fame. And I do love as an American. And listen, you guys are the favorites, no doubt in my mind. You're the favorites. But the amount of like goaltending options you have without having like a Connor Hellebuck, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. And listen, it didn't do us any good in the warm-up tournament last February, 4 Nations. But I just like that you're throwing out names left and right. And shout out Scott Wedgewood, who signed a 1-year extension, $2.5 million with Colorado. Good for him. And another big contract signing, Shane Pinto, the Pinto Parlay, 4-year extension with the Ottawa Senators. Ottawa's in the news everywhere, right? Because Brady and Matthew Tkachuk started a podcast, Wingmen, correct, boys?
Yes, sir.
If those two guys with their personalities, and if they go into that and they're really slinging it, like I saw the first episode clip I saw, they were just, which is so true. They're mentioning like they have to go to 3-2-1 point system in the NHL. I think it was Matthew saying if he could change one thing, it would 3 for a regulation win, 2 for an overtime win, 1 for the overtime shootout loss. I love that. I think it separates a lot. But if they end up like really being in there, being authentic, that's going to be must listen and awesome stuff.
Oh, it's going to be a monster. It's going to be a monster. And did you not say that the league currently, like 28% of games are heading to overtime? Was that something you said, Whit?
It was something, I don't know if it was 22% or 28%, but that was as of last week. Yeah, like the odds of going into OT. And I do think like even Tuesday night, Edmonton, Philly, or was that Wednesday night?
That was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. Sorry. So Philly, like they score what would be the game-winning goal. Konechny with a beautiful tip. Tippett was offside. Luckily, the Oilers got real lucky on that
Drag a leg, bud.
Yeah, I know. And what's funny is Roslovic did a great job of dragging the leg when he buries his second straight overtime winner. So, but when Philly won the faceoff, there's 25 seconds or 30 seconds went back on the clock once the goal got taken back. They just played catch, D to D in the neutral zone. And it's one of those things, like a lot of teams are like, let's just get a point. And when you're playing another conference too, it's kind of even more evident. Like, I don't care what happens with the extra point for these guys, but let's just make sure we get a point. I think that happens a lot more often than we think. Like, you got 5 minutes left in the third, guys, let's get the point, right? And I don't love that as a viewer. Now, overtime can be very entertaining, but if it's 3-2-1, like Matthew Tkachuk's talking about, I'd be all in for that. All in for that. And then you see the truly great teams that are winning in regulation more often. But back to Pinto, I love this deal. I mean, I think that this guy, like after we had him on, I became a huge fan. His personality, he gives you those courtesy laughs. Any friend of yours is a real true foxhole type buddy if he's giving you courtesy laughs. People that you're hanging out with, it's really hard to get a laugh from them. They could be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying, Keith? Just give me a laugh. I don't care if it was the worst joke of all time. If you give me a little bit of a laugh, I'll pump your tires on Chiclets till the end of existence. Right?
Yeah, 100%. The only thing I was shocked about, because I've heard that he wants to be a lifer in Ottawa. He bleeds black and red, I hear. Maybe a little gold too, but kind of shocked that it was only 4 years. For a guy that wants to be there and, a guy that's came up through their system, like, you think there was any conversations with that, Busy?
100%. I think that they wouldn't buck up, though. I think we all heard 8 times 8 was the offer. and that's as high as they were willing to go on the AAV. And to me, if I'm a fan though, especially if you could end up locking him in longer after this 4 years is up, to know that you have the confidence to say, no, I'll sign a shorter term deal, get 7.5, knowing that you're going to outperform it and get a bigger tag. That is the confidence.
Yeah,
you don't want the
ballsy.
guy being like, yeah, get me the long term, and I'm not as confident, and I'll just take that money that I'm being offered. So hey, 4 years, 7.5, great number. And by then, like, I think you're gonna know where this team's headed. Like, is Brady Tkachuk still in the picture? Right? Is he still there? And have they taken that next step, which we saw last year, and they've righted the ship this year so far. They had a really rough start, weren't getting the saves that they needed. So
Horrible goaltending before. Horrible.
Yeah, it was hurting them. So very happy for the Pinto parlay, and that's pretty much all I got on that.
They were up 2-0 Tuesday night against Dallas. Robertson tied it up with like 12 minutes to go in the third, and then Rupe Hintz got the winner. It was a dominant performance by Rantanen, who just, when that guy's on, I mean, it's crazy. But you're right. Ottawa at the beginning, I think their goaltending was the worst in the league. They've kind of figured that out. And when you don't have Brady in the lineup, like, you're kind of grinding every night, even enough like getting ready for games, right? And like, Biz, your favorite line, which I love, dragging him into the fight. Like, if I think of one player in the league that drags his team into the fight, it's Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah.
So without him, that's a lot to take on, right? And I think that having Pinto locked up, it takes like a storyline away. And Keith's saying he wants to be there. Great player. Now, it is kind of crazy. Like, looking here, last year at 37 points in 70 games, 21 goals. This year he's 17 games, 14 points. Great start. But the most points he's ever had is 37. And he's signed at 7.5. So it's a hell of a time to be an NHL player.
I bet a lot of it, and with Brady being out, like, I guarantee you they've seen in that locker room him step up as a leader. He's probably getting more vocal because, when your captain's there and Brady leads by example and with his voice, I would imagine that I guarantee you that Pinto has stepped up and been that leader, and they're like, hey, this is a guy we need around long term. And good for, like you said too, Biz, like, good for him, betting on himself with a 4-year deal. He'll be 29 when that's up. So, you sign a 4-year deal and then he signs a, 8-year, $20 million deal a year.
Yeah, that's probably where it's going to be at. Love the classic bet on yourself line from Yance. Just slides it right in again.
It's a great line.
I mean,
and Tkachuk and Batherson, they're up after the 27-28 season. Cousins Pinto up after 29-30, and Stützle up 2030-2031 year. So this is their time. The next few years here. Like, let's see, because if it doesn't work out and Brady's gone, it will be like if McDavid takes off, right? Like, they're completely in one
identity crisis.
Identity crisis. That's a great line, Biz. I like that. Good job. Nashville. They're horrible.
Yep.
They're horrible.
Sell the farm.
Legit, like, a very, very bad team. I think that, is there a chance that somehow Marchessault, Stamkos, and Saros are not on the team at the end of the year? Maybe. Like, you'd think you'd try to do that. I don't know how much money can they eat? Like, who's gonna trade what for those players? But I feel bad for Stammer and Marchessault. Like, their numbers aren't there. The team is losing. It's just it's gotten ugly quick. Gotten very, very ugly in Nashville, Biz.
Yeah, I feel like, especially with where, like, how much optimism was in the air when
last year we were division winners preseason.
Yeah, I was so pumped for them, and also, like, with both guys probably have feeling like they got snubbed from their organizations. And hey, let's go meet up with Ryan O'Reilly, bunch of Wiley veterans, and let's go, create our own thing in Nashville. And it has not worked out. I'm not pointing the blame at any of those guys, although fucking Ryan O'Reilly with one of the more critical interviews of himself I've seen from a national leaguer, and I'd expect nothing less from a guy of his status.
He took it back. He kind of said he regretted it. Said he sounded like a baby, but
classic unreal leader, try to shoulder the blame and take a little bit of the heat off the other guys, and that just speaks to the type of guy he is. But I would hope for those guys' sake and the organization, strip it to the ground, strip it up, keep the young prospects that you do have. I think that, Trotz would probably like a few redos, and he was an extremely successful coach, probably a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, helped lead Ovi to his first Stanley Cup with the Washington Capitals, but as you find, taking on a new role, it can be difficult sometimes, right? A lot of new things to learn, and he hasn't exactly had his best stuff. So interested to see if he gets to keep the reins moving forward. And then, what happens with coaching there, if maybe they think that that's part of the issue. I don't know. I don't know where this organization is headed and what changes they are going to make, but something needs to change because it's a bit of a dumpster fire, at least to start this year.
They're lucky they're in a low market, team, because if they were in Ottawa, Toronto, it would be a shit show. But I think, I agree with you. They got to strip it to the ground. If I'm Marches, though, I say, can you guys do anything possible to trade me to Colorado? And if I'm Stamkos, can you do anything possible to trade me to Florida to maybe get your revenge back on the teams that let you go?
And also going back to Trotz, 4th all time in wins in NHL history. So I would say that's he's punched his ticket to the Hall of Fame. So I think that when you're a Hall of Fame coach, you'll probably get a little bit more leash and leeway as a general manager to figure things out and right the ship. So
before we throw it over to Gaborik, if the Rangers score 2 goals, they win. There was 7 goals scored in the first period Wednesday night.
That was a dumpster fire of a first period.
That was crazy. And I mean, maybe the Rangers are starting to figure things out. They got 13 goals in the last 2 games, right? And dude, Trocheck.
You mean Super Mario?
One of the goals he got, was that Vasilevsky who just completely fell?
Well, the thing is he forgot to take his skate guards off.
Damn it.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there before.
I forgot to say at Ryder's team, they had a tournament up in Waterville, New Hampshire this past weekend. And one of the games, I'm walking around as like the Zamboni's kind of coming off the door, hasn't shut yet. And the kid on the other team, this team from Maine, this kid came flying to the door, stepped on the ice. He had his skate guards on. This kid went flying, just sliding across the ice. So they figure that out. And then the ref comes over and says, you guys are on the power play. The team came out too early. We had not shut the door yet to the Zamboni entrance. I said, no, guys. Like, no. He said, nope. They're in the penalty box. So the kid, he came out early with the skate guards on, went flying across the ice, and caused the team to get a penalty. Tough break for a 7-year-old right there. So Vasilevsky's got to be better than that. We don't want to see any more of that out of him. But 7 goals in first period, if you had the over, that is the greatest thing of all time. You just Elio would have left the game. That's what he does. When he takes the over and it goes over, he leaves. Doesn't matter if it's 3-3 going OT. See you later. I won my bet. So
we did glance over New Jersey, and there's a few fan bases that start barking when we don't cover the teams that have had success to start the year. Jack Hughes on Wednesday night against the Blackhawks. You talked about the chances for, chances against analytic stuff. I think he set an NHL record. I think they had 17 chances for and 1 against when he was on the ice with his line.
Wow.
So it was a masterclass for Jack Hughes as he continues to push for that Olympic squad. I'd pretty much say he's a lock for that team. Have his struggles at the Four Nations. I think we could all admit he didn't look as dominant when it was best on best. But I'd like to talk a little bit next pod or the pod after next week at least. Winnipeg hasn't gotten enough love as they continue their regular season dominance. Dallas, who we thought maybe was going to regress a little bit, they continue to push and be a top team in the league. And then the other one, Vegas, we haven't really talked about much recently.
They're quietly just
it'd be nice to get
doing their
the
job.
Thumb on the podcast.
Let's get the thumb on.
Yeah, he was dodging us a little bit there for a week. I think.
What do you mean? He talked all that smack, and then we dusted him up in the playoffs. Edmonton, Vegas, and I think he was hurt. All
right, well, I think he's over it now, and we're gonna have to get him on. So don't think for those other teams who are feeling neglected. We'll make sure to get on some representation, some guys to interview, and give you guys the double wrister that you deserve. Another team that keeps quietly
guys, I got a guest.
Too, Seattle and that dickhead Bowie. But I think
Gary's here.
The thumb, Gary. The one thing
you do have to bring up Nemec for Jersey, at least because it was last night.
We do in the interview as well with Gabrick.
Yeah, we do. We talk about but hat trick. He had also tied up the game, I believe, was it Monday night, late against the Islanders. They ended up losing, but he tied it up. So second overall pick. Pasha had a lot of questions about this guy, and he had his back for a long time, but you're starting to see some nice offense from this kid who, 3 goals, including the game winner in OT, in a game that Jersey did dominate Chicago. Good for him. That's a pretty cool accomplishment. Only the third hat trick by a defenseman in Devils history, Biz. You told us that. I did not know that. But I think it's time.
Who have the other two? I don't even know the answer.
I would guess Scott Niedermayer.
Niedermayer was my one guess.
Probably has
and
both
I
of
would
them.
guess, no, if it's 3 players.
Danico?
Rafalski, maybe? Danico.
Oh, Rafalski.
Maybe Rafalski. Maybe. Hat trick's ridiculous, though.
Hey, what's it?
I had one in college. Not a big deal.
Pasha
You had
was
a
so on.
Hattie? That's pretty
2
fucking
defensemen.
sick.
Hey, and
2
who
defensemen on
who-
BU.
Who interviewed you after the game?
Jack Hughes' mom. Myself and Kevin Schaefer.
In the
both
same
defensemen,
game.
had a hat trick in the same game against Yale.
That's got to be
crazy.
the only
Crazy.
They
time
lost
in BU history.
7-6.
No, we won that one. I think it was like 7-2. Big win for BU right before Thanksgiving. Yeah, and the Hughes brothers' mom was doing some interview type stuff. I don't think it was Nesson. I don't remember, but yeah, it was crazy. I found that out later. It was her.
Do we mention Spencer Knight as well as a guy who's potentially maybe making his way onto the U.S. Olympic team? He's had an incredible start to the year, and 24 years old, finally coming into his own. And I didn't realize how many he played World Juniors three times, right?
Did he?
Was it
Yeah.
3?
I think
As a goalie, that's crazy.
crazy.
I mean, he
3
was a
times.
phenom, though. Yeah.
He's a 13th overall pick. Oh, here you
Wow,
go.
he
My
did.
God, look at Whitty. You look older there than you do now.
Fox. That was for Foxwit. Is that what that says on her mic?
Yeah, Fox, New England, maybe. Yeah, everyone says that I looked so old when I was so young. And God, I don't look great now. I'm not going to lie. The hair was kind of nice there, though. I don't know is my hairline that diagonal, though? But yeah,
You look like Henrik Lundqvist with that
there's
diagonal hairline.
Look at Walter Brown Arena for anyone who ever got to
Beautiful.
experience a big game at Walter Brown Arena. Biz, that ceiling was so low. This place was a madhouse. So loud. Now, that game, the students might have been on break, considering it was right around Thanksgiving. I believe not many people there, but Walter Brown Arena, where I think Northeastern will be playing games as they build a new arena on campus. I'm going to the last game ever at Matthews Arena, December 13th, Northeastern playing BU. The oldest arena in the United States.
Yep.
Incredible spot.
Hey,
Biz is very interested.
Pretty
No, I
pretty
hear- I'm
amazing.
listening.
Kevin Schaefer got a hat trick because I'm pretty sure Lynchy peed his bed the night before that game.
And Foles
Why, he's
used
a bedwetter?
his toothbrush. So very dirty stuff. Come on, Foles. Have a touch of class. Monday night, we got the Montreal Canadiens visiting the Columbus Blue Jackets, one of the craziest atmospheres in the league. You got to catch a game in Columbus if you ever get the chance. Montreal's had a hell of a start. Columbus looking for some more consistency. I think Fantilli started scoring a little bit more, so that should be a great game. It is streaming on Prime Video in Canada. Puck drops at 7:30 Eastern. Prime Monday Night Hockey is available free to Prime members in Canada. Start your free trial at www.primevideo.com. And for the full Prime Monday Night Hockey schedule, visit www.primevideo.com/SALP/NHL. Montreal visiting Columbus. Check that out.
Whit, I did a video with 2 fellow Boston Terriers, Cole Eiserman and Cole Hudson. And in that video, Cole's Coffee Reviews, you're actually nominated next. You got to check it out. But
Okay.
in that video, they asked for a hot take for the season. And I said my hot take was, I think the Montreal Canadiens could make the Stanley Cup final. Do you think that is an outrageous hot take, or do you think that's a fair hot take?
The East is so wide open. I don't see it yet. I think they can win a round, maybe get to conference final. I don't know about their goaltending, but I'm not going to hate on your take that much. I like Montreal. I'm into watching this team play. Now, in Columbus, with the cannon going off, I don't know what we're going to get, but not there yet, but not far off, if that makes any sense.
Makes a ton of sense.
Shout out Prime. Shout out NHL on Prime. Can't wait to see it. With that, let's go to a guy who has class and was an incredible player and could skate like the goddamn wind.
Do you mind if I mention one quick last thing before we send it
Oh,
off?
please do.
We were able to get an amazing veteran on the show on TNT the other night, Craig Fitzpatrick. And I don't know if you
Oh, he's
if you
blind,
caught it.
right?
the blind hockey player, and he just came out with a book, and we're going to get him on the podcast to tell his story. He actually never started playing hockey until he was blind.
Wow.
Which is absolutely remarkable. And he ended up going over, I think he was in Colorado at the time, and the quietest place on campus was actually the hockey rink. So he went there to study for an exam, and that's how he initially got connected and fell in love with the game of hockey. So he just released a book. It's called Finding the Puck, Leadership Lessons from My Journey Through Blind Hockey. And once again, it's Craig Fitzpatrick, and forwarded by NHL Senior Executive Vice President Kim Davis, and also Scotty Bowman's got a quote at the top. He goes, "A wonderful story. They say hockey is for everyone, and Craig has proved that." So this is the cover of the book.
Amazing.
I'm going to send you the link, and hopefully that you can send it out. And just an amazing man, and I look forward to sharing his story with you guys on the pod. And he's a big listener. He loves listening, and he's thanked us. I say, hey, listen, I'm like, buddy, you're a veteran. Like, I thank you for your service. I'm not taking thanks from you on a Veterans Appreciation Night, but he was very complimentary and helping him mentioning how listening to the podcast helps take his mind off stuff and helped him through a lot of dark times, and mention how happy he was to see RA back, because he personally had dealt with some struggles as well throughout his life, and found RA's part and recovery extremely inspirational as well. So, Craig, you're the man. We appreciate you, and looking forward to getting you on. So, with that said, Marian Gaborik, man, Slovakian hockey legend, over 1,000 NHL games, Stanley Cup champion. And without further ado,
Gabby. All right, boys, the wait is over. Hey, dude, and the NHL just dropped, and these things are filthy. We're talking your favorite teams, embroidered logos right on the tongue, full fur lining inside. It's like a pregame nap for your feet. Solid wool and mesh upper flex and fold tech. These things are game day ready. Slip on, slip off, no laces to deal with when you're stumbling home from the bar after a big win. Toe drag into comfort, boys, whether you're at the rink tailgating or blasting some music in the parking lot. Hey Dude in the NHL has you covered. It's the perfect combo of hockey grit and ice chill. Shop the new NHL collection now at heydude.com. That's heydude.com. Not all teams available in all styles, but Matt Murley got Hey Dudes at the Four Nations last year and hasn't stopped talking about them and hasn't stopped wearing them since. So shop the new NHL collection right now at heydude.com. That's heydude.com. Guys, let's take a moment here and talk about Game Time. The start of the NHL hockey season is here. We're in full swing. We got the blast of cold air as you walk into the arena, the roar of the crowd after a big hit, goal, or fight. It's all electric, but getting there is another story. That's where Game Time can help out. There's queues, there's price jumps, there's getting logged out mid-click. Not with Game Time. All you want to be is be there, beer in hand, losing your voice with the entire crowd, and the Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. This weekend, Greensboro Gargoyles hockey. Who are they playing, G? The Tahoe...
The Tahoe Night Monsters.
Yeah, the Tahoe
baby.
Night Monsters. They're going to have a nightmare trying to play the Gargoyles in Greensboro. $30 right now with Game Time. Easy way to get in. Use Game Time. $30 to get in. See the Gargoyles play some hockey in North Carolina. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets, East Coast Hockey League tickets, concerts. Doesn't matter with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account and use code Chiclets for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHICLETS. That's Chiclets for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app right now. Welcome now to a very special guest. Shout out Biz, getting this guy on the pod. Stanley Cup champion, played in 2 different Olympics, scored 5 goals in an NHL game, and the highest draft pick ever for the Minnesota Wild, Marian Gaborik. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Hey guys. Glad to see you guys. I mean, you guys are on fire. I see you all the time. You guys popping up. from everywhere. So glad that you guys doing okay, and happy that you're having me on.
Well, my apologies for my face popping up on your feed. Maybe not so much these guys, but me. But the reason I reached out to you is I saw recently that Wayne traveled over there, and then you guys did some. I don't know exactly what you guys did together. You could probably better explain it. So obviously, it's an honor to get you on. It's about time. But what were you guys doing in Slovakia?
Well, there was this one bank was celebrating 200 years, and they invited him and another I think former prime minister of Finland. So he had like a speech, and we had dinner together with a bunch of people, and then we got talking, and he said, "Hey, let's have a drink at the bar." We stayed at the same hotel, and then he asked me to go for breakfast with him, and we just got to hang out for a couple of days. So it was awesome, and I love the guy, and you guys are on TNT together, so watch your panel, and you guys just kicking some ass. So yeah, it was great. A couple of days with him, and what a guy. I mean, you can just ask him a question, and he just gets going and telling all the stories. So it was awesome.
Isn't it insane how he can just remember everything? He remembers people's names. Like when he's telling a story, it makes me feel like such an idiot when I'm telling a story because I don't remember half the details. And he remembers goals, assists, and the guy had 9 million points. Like it's incredible, his memory.
Yeah, he told me he almost remembers every game and every goal he scored, and yeah, it's unbelievable. So you guys keep him young, and he loves it. He was praising you guys, and he just enjoys to be around young people and just talk about hockey and stories and everything. So he just loves it.
Was that your first time being able to spend like quality time with him and really getting to hang out? And was he someone that you looked up to and idolized growing up when you were playing overseas?
I think I met him once in New York, but when I was playing there, but he just came around, shook hands, but that was pretty much it. And then now we get to hang out, and yeah, I mean, like he was a legend. He was everybody's idol. And I missed him by 1 year, which is it would be cool to play against him, but I missed him. He finished 99. I started in 2000, so too bad, but glad that I met him. And it was kind of cool. He texted me the other day how the trip went. I went to Minnesota, and he asked me, and then it was cool to hear from him. So it's cool that we can keep in touch and hopefully see him around again.
I'm glad we got you on right now because I think it was just yesterday. Slovakia dropped their Olympic uniforms. Those are unreal. And I was wondering, are you going to will you be at the Olympic Games? I know you do a podcast or media over there. Do you have anything to do with the team maybe? It seems like a guy like you, I'd want to bring in at least part of the staff, but I didn't know your plans for Italy.
I might tell you guys, if we do this podcast maybe a couple of weeks from now, I might tell you more, but
okay.
I can't now, but maybe we can cut this or whatever.
No, leave the mystery up to everybody. You could just drop a little teaser.
I just, I'm in touch with those guys. Miroshiten is, we had him on a few times on podcast. I see him around. He's a head of Slovakian hockey, but I'm not really involved. Maybe eventually. I'm not really into coaching or managing. Maybe I would down the road. Maybe if the kids grow up, maybe work with the guys on some sort of a mental level in terms of confidence. How confidence is very important for players, and it seems that historically Slovakia seemed to struggle with confidence in all the sports, pretty much, as hockey especially. You guys kind of have it in your DNA, whether it's American or Canadian guys. You go play against teams like that, and you just kind of, intimidated by the leaf on their jersey or USA logo. So you guys have it in your DNA, and I think, Slovakian athletes and especially hockey players, I think, miss that extra juice of confidence, and maybe down the road work on that with the guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I feel like at least in recent World Juniors, it's getting better and better. And I know you're one of the. I mean, are you the highest drafted Slovakian player ever? I would think no.
No, Slavkovsky and Nemec beat me by
1
year. It was number 1 and number 2. They were, I think, 2000. I don't know, a couple of years ago or 3 years ago. So yeah, those guys went high, and good for them. I mean, it was was number 3. It's been a while, and they got up 2-1-2.
Good timing too. Nemitz just had his first career hat trick.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. I didn't realize for the Devils' history, for it to only be the 3rd hat trick by a defenseman in the history of the organization. I was shocked to see that, but good for him. And who would it be Chara be considered maybe the greatest, like the GOAT of Slovakian hockey? Is that a fair assessment? Like, who would you put up there as far as the top dog?
Well, I mean, you have, Peter Stastny, obviously, a long time ago, but Stan Mikita was Slovakian too. Then he, I think, immigrated. But in new era, I think, for sure, Marian Hossa and Zdeno Chara. He was just introduced in Hockey Hall of Fame. And, you have guys like Ziggy Palffy and people don't talk about him much, but I never seen bigger talent in my life, in terms of skill and in terms of just put on skates and do what he did best. I mean, he could just score from anywhere, and the vision he had, it was unbelievable.
I played with Ziggy when he stopped playing. He was so silky. You're right. His vision was unbelievable. He'd find guys anywhere. He wasn't looking. He'd find you. And then Hordichuk ran him over in Nashville. He's like, I'm good. I'm all set with playing in this league. I'm done playing. And his attitude was hilarious too. Like he cared, but the attitude was like, I really don't care.
Kind of like Kucherov a little bit.
Yes.
But do you guys joke back home about how he just was like, fuck it, I shut it down?
He had so many stories that he's a legend in terms of just all the stories he's had. And he could just pick up brand new skates or brand new hockey stick. He would just cut it. We didn't have to put a tape on it and just go out and be unbelievable. And at the end of the game, he would just have like this little spot of sweat, just if you see him, you wouldn't give him $5. You know what I mean? Like if you see him in the alley or something, like, he's, like this, never, didn't even, I don't think he even came too close to a weight room. And then he was just pure talent, and what an unbelievable guy too. So I see him here and there, and he still runs. He's still he's in good shape, and he still go on the ice and plays beer league. So he just enjoys hockey, and he was such a great talent. I was fortunate to play with him in Vancouver in the Olympics. Him and Joseph Stumple. So it was a treat.
I remember for you personally, like first time I ever played against you was my rookie year in Minnesota, and your speed was your ultimate weapon. I mean, it's all anyone talked about, and I gotta know, as a young kid, like, was it always there? Were you playing a lot of soccer? Because people still talk about your speed. It's honestly like Pavel Bure was like, just it was insane, and I didn't know what kind of created that for you as a young kid or a teenager.
I was always one of the faster kids, and we had a great coach here. I think everybody went through him in terms of skating and everything, and he really gave us basics. Obviously, not like now that there are skill coaches. You do some sort of edge work. Like I wouldn't be able to do anything like these guys do these days. But I was always a good skater. But then when I was 16, 17, I started putting a little weight on, did some exercises in the gym, and did a lot of plyometrics. I worked on my skating, as I knew that coming to NHL, it's all about speed, not much time out there. So I really tried to work on that, and worked in my favor. Obviously, maybe because of that, I've had a lot of issue with my groins and hips and stuff. Maybe that was some sort of a I had to pay for that with the speed I had, but it was, my legs were money makers. So let's put it that way. And it was great to now these days, like I wasn't shifty like you have McDavid or McKinney. Now I was just straight up get the puck to me, and when somebody was chasing me on breakaway, that was my best chance to score. I couldn't put shit in the net on the shootout. When the shootout started, because you start thinking, what am I going to do? You have something in your head. And then coming between the circles, I totally changed my mind and then fucked it up. So it was...
Another all-time Marian Gaborik story. I don't know if you remember when on the Oilers, had to be like 2012-ish. You dusted us. You're on the Rangers. You guys crushed us. You had a couple goals, and Jason Strudwick was chasing you on a breakaway.
Ooh.
He's like, I could have chased him to China. I wouldn't have caught him. you buried it. The sound went up. I'll never forget him talking about. He's like, the one guy I look up, it's Gaborik. Fuck.
Oh no. Yeah, don't let him get behind you.
I just thought of it. Looking at Yang, I remember. Do you remember? Yeah, you remember.
I
He
sent
sent
it to
us
them
this.
this morning.
Can we throw it in there? I don't think we can. Keith, describe the play.
Yeah, so I had heard great things about Gabby. He was an unbelievable guy, and he hadn't scored in a few games, so I just wanted to give him one. And no, I was standing behind the net, and I must not have saw you, and I tried to pass it out the right side, and it flipped off the tip of my stick and went right to Gabby, who probably had 40 goals at that point, and just tucks it in on Smitty. And Smitty just looks back at me like, are you serious? It couldn't have been more embarrassing, Biz. I
Wait,
know.
so
It's
you
the
got
worst
sonked?
giveaway I've ever seen, Biz.
You sonked yourself?
Like from behind the
I
net.
must have thought I was on his team.
Oh man! From behind, he had a puck behind the net and like looks up. Obviously, a great puck mover and everything, had everything planned out. But then he hit the tip of the a blade and straight to me. I was shocked. I was like, what am I gonna do? I was so surprised. So I got a shot off. I didn't score on the first one, but the rebound I got, and I think it was might have been my 300th goal or something. I remember we had a
nice
good
of you,
party.
man.
We had a party afterwards, and I think Scottsdale somewhere had team dinner. I took the guys out, and I think it was one of the goals that really counted, I guess.
Yeah, you should have invited me for that dinner.
Sorry about that.
Yan said that if it happened nowadays, he'd be getting investigated by the FBI for shaving points.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah.
You should have taken a puck like Binnington did for Ovi,
Yeah,
Oh, I thought I was gonna get invited to your
made a few
dinner.
extra bucks. That is so good. I usually when we get guys of your status on, we kind of start from the beginning. We talked about how you learn how to skate, and that was one of your best attributes. But what attracted you to hockey, and at what age did you put on the blades? Like, did your father play? Like, what got you hooked on hockey?
My brother used to play. He's 9 years old. He played like pro league here for the home team, Dukla Trenčín, and I just followed him. And he was kind of my first idol. And then I remember going to the games and wooden sticks and everything. And I remember when somebody broke a stick during the game in not on the blade but in the shaft. I remember running down to the penalty box because the referees always put the broken stick on the penalty box, and my dad used to glue it for me, and then I played outside and even on the edge with those sticks. So I remember those days, and yeah, he was kind of my first idol, and kind of took off from there. So had a great support from him down the road, my parents, and those are good times.
Remember we were talking to Chara Boys, and he used to talk about how he would have the pouch in his pants, and he would bring his own puck because resources were really at a minimum back then. And I'm sure you felt the same effect. You just said your father used to get the old broken sticks and tape them together. So it seemed like it was like almost hard to come by resources in order to keep accelerating the game over there.
Yeah, we to get a gear and everything. We didn't skate up until I think the third grade, which was what, you were 9 years old or something. You just had skates on and gloves, and then after that we kind of inherited the gear from sixth graders to fifth graders, and so on from junior to younger team. And same with sticks, like the sticks were kind of circulating, and if a guy kind of put his on a professional team, he put a skate away, he put the stick away, and it was not in great shape. Then they moved it down to lower categories, and that's how we got the gear and stuff. And I remember, might have been I don't know, ninth grade or something like that. My dad bought me my first pair of skates. It was a Bauer 4000, as you guys probably remember, with black blades. And he got me size. I don't think now I would have played in that size. It was so big, and I used to crush like the newspaper, and some sort of foam or something. I stuck it in the toe And so they would fit. They were huge, the skates, but it lasted 3-4 years or something like that. So that's how we went about the business then.
Any parent out there, Biz, that's out there like getting their kids like $1,200, it's just crazy to think that it doesn't really matter. It's like if you're good enough, you're gonna fucking make it work, and that's incredible. Because you were probably like, all right, these will fit me when I'm 15 or 17.
My first game in NHL, I could have probably wore them.
Oh my! Hey, do you feel like in some cases guys have said they used to use those big skates growing up, where more blade on the ice maybe helped them develop their stride? Did you find that was kind of like almost like speed skating essentially?
I don't know. I mean, that for sure wasn't the reason why I got them. I just got them for like to last longer. But it might have been, but it was kind of subconsciously. It wasn't like meant to, for my parents to do that. But the stuff was expensive, and we really we were grateful even for that stuff. I mean, Chara can tell you about all his stories about the gear that wouldn't fit him. I mean, he was 20 feet tall and everything, so it was really, really hard for him to get the gear inherited from his predecessors because there was nobody like him, right? But nowadays the kids have it all. Like sometimes I feel that they don't appreciate it. When I have a hockey school, and I always tell the kids, use the sticks only with the puck. Never. I don't want to see anybody banging the stick against the glass, against the board, or you get frustrated against the ice, because that costs $300 or whatever dollars. And then it just I just try to tell them to really appreciate and be grateful, because we didn't have those. We didn't have that when we were growing up.
Is it more so like the federation is paying for the stuff for the kids nowadays, or it's just families have more money and can spend the money on the hockey equipment?
Well, hockey is an expensive sport, obviously. I mean, there is some support. I don't know to what extent, but it's mostly on the parents. The kids grow fast, and you have to buy them skates every year pretty much or whatever, and it is expensive sport, and they are I'm trying to support some kids too, and they are even, I don't know to what extent federation helps out, but it's expensive sport, and if you want to have individual skill practices with coaches, it's not cheap, and you guys know that for sure.
I was just going to ask, what was your childhood like? I mean, you would play hockey in the winters. Was it something that you became addicted to, where you were still able to get on the ice in the summertime? Did you gravitate towards other sports? And you mentioned you had an older brother. Like, what were you doing in your adolescent years for fun, hobbies, and all that type of stuff?
Well, I mean, you came from school, you threw the backpack in a corner and went outside. Whatever you played, soccer, or you went out to play street hockey. We always did that, like every day, pretty much, and we just spent the whole day outside if we could. So nowadays, like it's not the same, but we were playing. We had a team, because I went to school from the 5th grade on with my teammates. So it was like a hockey. We went to the same school, to the same class, and we played. They were my teammates as well, and we were playing handball. I don't know, you guys don't have it there, but it's pretty big in Europe. We played in handball, and I was a goalie, and that was a hard sport. But we played all kinds of different sports, so that was important. And the ice, we couldn't. We were happy that we could go in the ice at 6 in the morning, couple 2-3 times a week, and the ice time wasn't much, so we just try to take the best of it. And winter, on the parking lot, parents came out and sprayed the water. On the street, we were playing hockey on the street pretty much with the skates. So it was the ice time was hard to come by those days.
I mean, you started playing in the professional league in Slovakia when you were 16, and right before that, was there any thought of you going over to play major junior? I know some guys were doing that then. It wasn't as common as it is now, but were you kind of like looking forward to and dreaming of playing in the Slovakian league at a young age and willing to play there until you could get to the NHL.
Yeah, I was drafted by Bécomo Ledrakar.
Dakar, oui.
Yeah. So I probably still have the jersey somewhere with the big pirate ship or whatever was it. And but I had a chance to play pro, and we're talking about that if I play now, it would be better for me to get used to men's hockey, on the ice and also off the ice, which was very important to get used to, kind of like to grow up quicker or mature quicker, and that was the case. And we had a good team. It wasn't always easy to play with men, and especially those times, like imagine a young guy taking 35-year-old spot. You can imagine how it got sometimes in the locker rooms, but it kind of I grew a thicker skin from those experiences, and helped me out big time coming to play in the NHL.
I'll go back just to that. Like, you're saying, like, you took an older guy's spot. Were the other guys in the locker room also resentful? Or was it just mainly that guy's spot that you took? And is that what made it such a difficult transition?
Well, not just that guy, but there were a few guys that made it really difficult for a young guy. Some certain things that would not fly one bit in these days. In this day,
like
today,
initiation type stuff.
Not just that, but overall, like you go on a practice and you get crash tagged like from behind and into the boards, and going two-hander around your ankles and stuff like that. And it wasn't easy, but then eventually when they found that I became good, I was helping the team to score, so I created some sort of respect by playing and by kind of not I stood up sometimes for myself. So they were like, okay, maybe we should kind of took it down a notch, and a lot of times coaches look the other way because that's what it was. Seeing older guys kind of they were with them in terms of they're not like supporting what they're doing, but like they just looked away a lot of times, and it was a great teaching lesson down the road, but it wouldn't fly today. I can tell you that much.
Did you know that first year you would make the Minnesota Wild? And I'd love to hear. I mean, that's kind of you experienced this something so new, right? Like hockey's back in Minneapolis. It's an incredible market. Like they deserve to have a little bit more success than they've had. But when you went into that camp, were you kind of told, hey, listen, you're on the team, or we're not sure yet? And I didn't know how you approached that first camp, because it's just, even then it was way more uncommon than it is now for an 18-year-old to play his rookie season right after being drafted.
I was fortunate that it was expansion team. So, you had 5-6 guys that were that made the team 100%, and then the other guys were fighting on it. So we didn't have any superstars. We didn't have any guys that were like okay, they had it made. So it was pretty much like everybody starting from scratch, and that was the advantage. I don't know how it would work if I would come to, let's say, a team like, I don't know, LA or Detroit, like we couldn't even, talk about it. But it was, I really, the guys kind of were good to me, and they helped me around and they helped me out. And then I was fortunate also, we had maybe 7 or 8 Czechoslovakians, guys from Czech and Slovakia. So that helped my transition. It was better, but I was confident that I could make the team, and obviously Jacques Lemaire sat me down, and I wasn't always try to hang around our blue line. I was try to score goals and everything, but he sat me down and he said, Gabi, listen, you cannot play like this, so with this French accent, and I had to take care of defensive stuff and then offensively do whatever you want. But that helped me out a lot. And I, Jacques, to this day, I say he was the best coach I've ever had. He was, and he kind of knew too, if I made a mistake or something, I wasn't responsible in some situations. there's a power play and you're sitting on the bench, and that was kind of a punishment that he knew how to throw it out there for the guys.
Their first year, the leading scorer had 39 points. He had 30. Imagine an NHL leading score of a team
Holy
having 39 points.
I know scoring
Different
was
game.
down back then, but my God.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That must have been a long year.
Like when you came over here, were you worried all? Because I don't think people realize how big of a difference. You've played on big ice your whole career coming up to here, and then you skating is your best asset. Like, were you worried that it might not translate to the NHL game?
I don't know. I think the smaller surface was better for me in terms of you get if you beat somebody 1-on-1, you can have a chance right away, whether it's from the boards, it's shorter distance from the boards to the goal, and I think it creates, if you can beat the guy 1-on-1, you have a chance pretty much a lot of times, and I really worked on my shot in terms of Joe Sakic was I was looking up to him in terms of his quick wrist shot, because I knew that coming here, you don't have time for slap shot. You don't have time to get ready for a shot. That's what I try to work on, my wrist shot, and always almost try to shoot when it surprises me. You know what I mean? And then if sort of I get surprised by a shot, everybody else will. And it was, I think, working on my shot, it was the best thing I could ever done, because, you don't have time to get ready for anything pretty much.
Right.
I was just going to go back it up a little bit. I would assume that the biggest moment of your playing career was probably getting to represent your country at the World Juniors in 2 years. Where were your World Juniors, and like, what was that experience like, getting to represent your country at such a high level at that age that you were at?
Yeah, I remember I was 16, and it was in Winnipeg and Brandon in 98, 99. I remember
16,
and I think we played Canada. Our first game we beat Czech 3-1, and as a 16-year-old, I happened to score 2 goals, so I was like, wow. And I remember Jim McKenzie, Jim, his name is right.
Yep.
Yeah. So he was interviewing me after the game. That was the first time I met him. A little short guy, and he was interviewing me. I was
Bob
like,
McKenzie.
Bob McKenzie.
Oh, Bob,
that's
not Jim.
unreal.
Sorry.
I thought you meant
Bob.
Jim McKenzie, the one that's got the huge hammer. He played for the Winnipeg Jets, because you said Winnipeg, so that's why.
No. Bob McKenzie. So
yeah,
he was
Bob.
interviewing
He's probably
me
got
after.
a big rope too, though.
So, and then we played Canada, and I remember we tied them 0-0. Luongo in net. You had Simon Gagne. You had Robin Regier. You had Daniel Tkachuk was unbelievable. Then I remember, and also you had
Brandon Reed. Remember that little guy, Brandon Reed, I think, was on that team?
But there was one guy, Rico Fata.
He could fly.
He was
Fly.
unbelievable. He was flying. He was crazy. And Russians, they have Afinogenov. They have. He was, I think, MVP of that tournament. But we end up beating Sweden in bronze medal game. We get bronze medal, so it was huge in Slovakia. For Slovakia, it was, I think, first ever medal for the country in hockey. So yeah, that was unbelievable.
That was at that point, probably the greatest achievement of your career, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's unreal. And then were you expected to go as high as you were? Like, did you attend the draft?
Yeah, I was at the draft, and I knew New York Islanders was picking number 1, and they had me. They flew me over to look at the facility, like all the medicals and everything. So I thought I'm gonna go up there, but then you get into the draft and you hear rumors. They made that big trade, so obviously they went to pick Rick DiPietro, and then Heater. Then he went second. He went to Atlanta, and I went third to Minnesota, and he was in Calgary. And I remember after going to Cowboys, but obviously I was 18. I didn't drink, and I remember Heater was just partying. Everybody all over him on the dance floor. So he was a.
That's when bottle service was invented, at that draft.
Yeah,
when Heater went into Cowboys.
Yeah.
Most points from that draft. You have the most points from that draft.
Really?
Draft.
Okay.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah,
unreal.
it is pretty sick.
That was pretty good drafts, I think. You had Kleslow in number
Justin
4.
Williams, Rafi
Torres, yes.
Scotty Hartnell.
Scotty Hartnell in number 6.
Yeah.
There was somebody mid-draft who was, Brooks Orpik, couple Stanley Cups. He was a mid-round pick. So after that first year in Minnesota, it seems like that second year is where you really hit your stride. I think you ended up putting up back-to-back 30-goal seasons, year 2 and 3. So like, did you just feel like a different guy coming in your second year? You felt like a vet and things were just clicking a lot easier?
Yeah, I mean, and I remember that second or third year, Andrew Burnett, I love the guy, like we still keep in touch. He's unbelievable. And he pulled me in. I think we had a New Year's Eve party, and he pulled me in and he kind of told me like to kind of come back down to the earth, pretty much, to kind of like, you're good, you're gonna be good, but just I think you kind of flying up high, too high in terms of maybe a little cockiness or ego or something like that. And I remember that to this day, that he sat me down and talked to me, not giving me shit or anything, but just really, talk to me as a friend, as somebody that really wanting me to do good, and so that stuck with me, and I just kind of came down, fall down on the earth, and just from then I think it helped me to really be grateful and just try to play as better as I can and try to be the best teammates that I can. So I remember to this day, it was, I'm thankful for that for him.
What a difference, like you said, the way that the guys treated you when you were 16 years old. And then, Andrew Brunette, who I had him in Florida too, just a great leader, and having a guy like that say that to you. And everyone I've asked that I've talked to asking about you, saying that we were going to have you on, all they said was he was the best teammate, told you how it was, just like a guy that was there for you. So it's cool to see that you brought it to the way that Bruno did, and just, trying to help people out, right? Because at the end of the day, you just want to help people out and help them get better.
No, for sure. I mean, like, I didn't want the guys that, to go through what I went through in some of the situation. And then I just always treat young guys, I never bullied anyone, or never, be, speaking down to anybody. I try to treat everybody the same way. And because I've experienced when I was younger that I was always young. I was never older guy, you know what I mean? So when I was an older guy, I just try to treat everybody the same way.
You said it was in January in your second year where he pulled you aside. When he said something to you originally, were you like were you kind of unaware of it? Were you pushing back at the start, and then he kind of made you like snap out of it? Or were you kind of like, yeah, you're right? Like, were you cruising around in like a fancy car? Like what type of things were you doing that was maybe a little bit too cocky?
Obviously caught me by surprise that I was like shy, because, you don't look in the mirror and then see what you really do. Other people see it, and yeah, I was shocked, but then I didn't really say anything back to him or no, you're wrong or anything. I kind of took it to the heart, and yeah, it was maybe I didn't even realize it. It was just maybe, I don't know, I was just not did whatever I wanted in terms of, I don't know, maybe in practices I didn't practice hard enough, or I don't know. I can't tell you really those things, but I kind of took it to the heart and just try to be grateful and go about my business. So
that third year in Minnesota, though, it was a pretty crazy run. Like, you guys went to the conference finals, and it was Colorado, right, in the first round that you guys beat in Game 7, and then took down Vancouver. And I can't imagine that city then. Like, they've been looking for a trip to the conference finals since, and it must have been electric. And going into the playoffs, like, you guys had big dreams, but I'm guessing going against Colorado, it was like the expectations maybe weren't as high as you guys had imagined they'd be, right?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like, we're down 3-1 against Colorado, and I remember we had practice in Colorado before Game 5, and we were shit. Like you could see that the guys were just like already gave up, you know. And then I remember, I think Risebrough came down and said something, but it was again like Andrew Brunette kind of, you know, say, hey guys, like you gotta wake the fuck up. Who knows where you're gonna play against these type of players, against this type of situation? Like, you know, like you gotta get up and just enjoy it, but like put really work in and not give up like that. And that was a turning point, and we end up, you know, beating in 7 games. And Bruno was the guy in game 7 who scored, who pretty much put Patrick Roy into retirement. Bad home, but you
He's
know
gonna
what I mean?
love hearing that.
Yeah, that was his last game.
He's gonna love
Yeah, it was
hearing
his
that.
last game, and I remember that. But yeah, nobody expected. I mean, you play against Sakic, Forsberg, you know, Rob Blake, you know, Adam Foote, you know, Hayduk and everybody. So everybody was shocked, you know, and Patty writing that, and then, you know, 7 games, and it was unbelievable. That coming back from the series to Mini, the fans were greeting us at the airport, and I remember on a driveway, the kids from the neighborhood were you know, writing stuff on the driveway with the chalks and everything. It was unbelievable. And then Vancouver, that was crazy too. Like Bertuzzi, Naslund, and then same scenario, 3-1. We're down, and then came back, game 7 too. And I think it was. I think this game 7 was like we beat them by 3 or 4 goals, but you know, you had guys like Matt Cook, that was the biggest asshole on the ice, as you guys probably know. But it was fun. It was fun, and Vancouver always treats you very nicely, as you know.
Oh yes. That's why I lived there in the summer. Now that year was Liquid Dueno Rolson your goalie?
Oh yeah.
Were they doing the back and oh yeah.
Liquid Dueno.
I hosted them, the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think he was playing for Tampa Bay. Maybe it was the Islanders at the time. But, you know, he was an older guy, and they had a rookie party, and I'm like, who is this guy? He had an NBA draft suit on. He was swimming in it, and he might have been the drunkest guy on the planet that night.
Like the fucking comb over too, whatever. Like it was unbelievable. And yeah, they were rotating. Jack was rotating Manny Fernandez and him. And
every game, no matter what, they would go back and forth.
I can't remember if it was every game, but might have been series to series. But you know, he was rotating them, and that too, it wasn't common back then. Like, you know, you had your number 1 guy, and that was it. But I think if he, you know, that was also our goal to our success for Jacques having do that, and also rotating captaincy. Like who has done that? Like every month we had a different captain. I think Jacques
play, instead of playing Juice Boy, they'd play Captain Boy. Shootout end of practice. Who gets to wear the C for the month?
So it was kind of cool to, you know, when they were giving out the captaincy after each month, and then you see the guys that for example, Brad Brown, like defenseman, you know, couldn't really skate, you know, hardworking guy, really put his heart and soul on the ice, and you know, my number 5, number 6 defenseman. Sometimes he was out of the lineup, but you could see on his face when he got that C that he was the happiest guy in the world, and really guys admired that to see that he's made progress. He was working hard, and it was kind of a reward for the job, you know, you could have done for the team. And I think for Jacques, it was a good way in order to not have somebody stable as a captain to talk into his business, you know what I mean? So he spread it out, so he was always the boss, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like
Smart.
nobody's safe because there's a different captain all the time. But I'm wondering, the next year, which was the final year the NHL had before the season was canceled the following year and the game changed forever, you played games in the Slovakian league. Was that like a contract holdout and you were playing over there?
It was a holdout. Yeah, after my third
Wow, it's
year.
kind of ballsy. You were playing in that holdout, right?
Yeah, because you can play 9 games, and then if I were play 10 games or something, then I wouldn't be able to sign or something like that. There was some sort of a rule, so I could play 9 games, and then I was just holding out. And yeah, I mean, those things, like you try to hold out, try to get a better deal, but at the end of the day, like, didn't do much. You know what I mean? So
not only that, but how long, when you ended up signing, how long term was the deal? How many years?
3-year
So
deal.
at least it wasn't a real long one, because then that deal got bumped 24% rollback after the lockout.
So yeah, but then, like, I remember when I signed, I came back, and you could see that Jacques really punished me for that. I remember first practice bag. Oh, I got bagged like tomorrow. Oh my god, it was oh my god, like it was, and you could see them, him and Mario Tremblay talking to each other, and like, fucking guy, young, like, yeah. So, but it was a good lesson, and obviously, if I could take it back, maybe I wouldn't have hold out, but it was a good lesson, and back then you really had to work and prove that you were worth of the money. Like, seemed like nowadays they just giving the money to the guys that haven't really proved that they I don't know. It's different time, and obviously the market is different. So it is what it is. But yeah,
I mean, God, it's crazy to think too. Like, if you look at, I'm trying to look at this team right here. When you played the lockout year, you had Hossa, and Pavel Demitra playing like that.
Wow.
And you had 53 points in 29 games. Like, it had to be pretty fun. Obviously everyone wants to be in the NHL, but you got 3 superstars playing for your hometown team, and you guys just lit it up.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Like, playing in front of home crowd, and we really had a blast. And there was a window of 1 month, and me and Hossa went to Sweden for a month, and then we came back for playoffs, and we ended up losing in semifinal to Slovan Bratislava, where Vyšňavský was playing, and Šitan, and it was a bummer we lost, but yeah, it was a fun year. I mean, obviously we'd want to play in the NHL, but that was a treat to come back and play for hometown.
When did you first deal with like a groin injury? Like, when did it kind of start for you? Because it was like playing against you, if you were out of the lineup occasionally, it was like, thank God, as a defenseman. But I know it ended up, it was something that you battled your entire career. Like, did that start in Minnesota? Was it later? And what was like the first kind of thing that happened, I guess?
Yeah, it was in Minnesota. I can't remember which year was it, but yeah, just a little groin pull, and then try to treat it, whatever. Then came back, got re-injured, and it was just like it was just like snowball effect, and then it was really mentally tough to kind of to be confident, because I was scared to put on that next extra gear, you know what I mean? That I'm gonna pull something again, and then I had surgeries, and then kind of when I left Mini, wasn't I wanted to stay in Mini, but then they went different route, and then I signed in New York, and then after surgeries, couple of hip surgeries, it got better, and then I kind of got that the extra gear back, but it wasn't pleasant times to be out of lineup and with a groin injury, you know what I mean? So it wasn't easy, but I guess that was the thing with me having the stride I had, and that was some sort of I had to pay some sort of a pay for it in terms of,
yeah, your stride was so long. That was the thing. Like, that's where the speed came from. But I did, and then I'm guessing that led to the hip stuff. It all goes back to probably the groin. But how many surgeries did you end up having?
Overall, like 14, I think, overall.
What?
But then hips and like a sports hernia, 2 each, in terms of like the skating stuff, shoulders and stuff, 2, but then like the hips, in the veil, both of them, and then hernia. So yeah, it wasn't easy, but you know, when I got back, I always enjoyed playing, and when I got really healthy, you know, that I could turn that extra gear. That was the best thing.
Last thing I was going to talk about from Minnesota days, I had 7 goals in my NHL career. You had 5 in one game. Now, that's probably a very short list of guys who played in the NHL who had 5 goals.
How many guys would you think? I looked it up.
In one game?
I was just going to look it up.
I was going to say
10?
12.
That's more than
Less?
that. 20?
7.
More
than
40?
20?
Yep.
Holy.
There's
50.
more than 20 guys with 5 goals in a game?
I mean,
48.
48.
48.
Joe Malone is the leader with 5. Sweet Joe Malone.
5 goal games?
He had 5 goal games.
What year is that?
Joe Malone played 1917 to 1924.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got 13 records though.
Did you do anything different that game? Did you feel different going in? Like
No empty netters too
that's
in that game.
I'm going to that
gnarly.
YouTube right now. I got to rewatch these.
It was a
The
6-minute
one that he
video.
scored batted out of the air was sick.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was. When somebody asked me this question, I think I was in some sort of a zone, or the stars were aligned a certain way, and I could have literally scored 7. Like I had so many chances, and then on 5-on-3 afterwards, the guys were setting me up and open net. Steve Alikid was in net after Hank got pulled. And I broke my stick on empty netter, and just stuff like that. Like, and it was just amazing night that everything worked in my favor, and then great setup from the guys. Obviously, Pavel Demitra assisted, I think, on 3 of them. You know, and yeah, Chris Drury assisted on the fifth one when he when he coughed it up on their blue line. So, but then even I fanned on that last shot against Hank, and I tried to go blocker, and ended up being going 5-hole. I totally fanned on that shot, and it went in. So I guess, like I said, I was in some sort of a zone, or stars were aligned. Yeah, it was crazy.
No wonder they fucking traded for you.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna say, Jens?
That's what I was gonna say. That had to have been the reason why, because I know how Dolan is too, and it's like you see that, you're like, okay, I need that guy. If he's gonna
who's
score
that
7
shiny toy?
yeah, exactly.
Get him over here.
Well, about Dolan, I remember they signed me as a free agent for, I think it was 5 years, 42 or 43 million, something like that. And we had they have this casino night, and I don't know, it was maybe in December, or I don't know. So I got in, and then you know, Dolan, I talked to Dolan, Glanceta was there, and we shook hands with Dolan, and he said, yeah, so are you on a power play? I was like, you just signed me for 5 years, 42 million, and you asking me if I'm on a power play. Like, so
That's when
obviously
you know
I had
you're
no
rich.
idea who I was. So that was hilarious. I was talking to, I came to Slats. I was like, hey, Slats, this guy, like, he has no fucking idea who I am or something. He just, you know, so he would start laughing. Oh, he knows with this, you know, he has his cigar, he knows. So it was hilarious. But
Hey, I'm
yeah.
watching these highlights. I kind of forgot about Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Was pretty sick. That guy was silky with the puck. He was nice. I just remember some of these players in the Wild I kind of forgot about.
Zid
But this was
Licky, he
electric
nice.
being at home too. This game.
Yeah, and Burnsby too. Burnsby played 1,500 game, and I don't know if you guys know, but he was drafted as a forward, first rounder, and Jacques turned him into defenseman, and 1,500 games later, future Hall of Famer probably. You know, the guy is a beast. So he's a fun guy too. So yeah, we had a good group.
Yeah, was he a beast then?
Was he a pet detective back then? Was he buying all the snakes already?
Oh yeah. We had a one time we had like a Super Bowl party at his house, and he had all the snakes. So we came down to his terrarium, whatever. So we're watching, and the wives were there too. And I got down on my knees, and I grabbed a couple wives by their ankles, you know. They're like almost losing it. So yeah, he put on a show, put like a little rat there, and then Python just kind of, I hate snakes, but
Marian's
he loved
like,
it.
I'm a snake. I'm a snake. You remember that video?
Literally little
I'm a
snake.
snake.
One of these comments, almost 10 years later, I'll still never forget this night. I was sitting 10 rows up on his breakaway for the 5th goal. The video doesn't do it justice. The place was so fucking loud. That is and it was right before Christmas too. You know those games, guys?
Oh,
the Christmas
yeah.
crowds, like that's a great memory.
That's
right
the type
there,
of
man.
game where you're like, if I don't show up the next 3, nobody's gonna say shit to me. I get to
I
the next 3.
remember, and I remember next game we played against Jersey or something. I think we lost, and I had like 1 assist, and obviously I got in shit after. You know, he scored 5 goals, and you gotta keep it up. You know what I mean? So
Can't please him, eh? Can't please him. What? I mean, Jans, you got to play in New York. Like, it must have been a whirlwind. You go from Minnesota, and probably a great place to be introduced to the NHL, where you're kind of out of the chaos. You get to experience on the road trips, but it's a very chill place. But then you get to the Big Apple. Like, was it everything as expected? You had a huge first year there. So, like, how much did you enjoy? Yeah, that's especially after getting that big ticket.
it was fun. I mean, like I say, like whoever, everybody should play in New York to get experience of playing in a Big Apple and live there. And it was amazing. You know, the Madison Square Garden and the organization top notch. You had everything. You come, you know, you have your own plane. You have whatever you wanted, lobsters on the plane, whatever. You know, so it was like I was like, holy shit, like unbelievable. And you know, we had a great team and a great bunch of guys, and the travel was unbelievable. Like you were at home pretty much, you know, in your own bed every night, and yeah, it was fun, you know. And the MSG, when you win and you hear that Sweet Caroline song, that's nothing better than that.
You'd figure playing in New York, you'd have somebody who would like help you out, but I remember you carrying your Christmas tree down the street
on the show.
Yeah, on the show. I'm like, I'm like, no one can just grab it for him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they were following us for the Winter Classic against Philly, but it was like the HBO. I think it was the first time they did it, and it was around the corner. And I just came there and then put it on my shoulder and went to my apartment. So it was cool. It was yeah, and then the city also, like, Torch didn't really have us practice morning skates. He really didn't like morning skates, so you kind of had to, you know, be careful because that city can suck you in. You know, you don't have a next morning practice. You show up at Madison Square Garden at 4:00, so the guys sometimes you know, went out a bit. A little too long, you know, a little bit longer like they should, but you know, you have to really be careful in that city because, as you know, yeah, it can suck you in like no tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. All of your seasons in New York, you had torts, and I imagine there was nights, and I believe there's old videos of him, like, he wanted you blocking shots. He wanted everyone blocking shots. It's like, you're like, I'm getting 40. Come on. But what was your relationship like with him? I'm sure it was kind of up and down. Based on you being a skill guy, it seems like all the skill guys, it's great one day and it's a disaster the next.
Yeah, he was up and down, but you know, he played the top guys a lot. Like you know, he just tried to squeeze you know, the best out of you that he could, and we had some situations where I guess a lot of guys probably had some situations where, you know, it was almost. I remember we almost got into a fight. We played Jersey playoffs, and I remember you talked about blocking shots, right? So I think we're down or up 2-1 or something, and after you know, before second period was over, I went to block a shot, and I was in a shooting lane, and the shot was going wide, and somebody tipped it like 5-6 feet. You know, it was going wide, and somebody tipped it in. And I remember during the intermission, I went to see Rammer. You know, he stretched me out, whatever. And Torch storms in, and he's just saying like, "Fucking, you know, you gotta fucking block the shot." I was like, I was in a shooting lane, like, and we're just like this close. And I remember, like, if Rapper, my grab wasn't in the training room, I think we would have been like, you know, like fucking, I don't know what would happen. So he kind of like, "Oh guys, okay," you know, he stepped in between us, and then kind of got us away. And then I remember walking in the room, And then the room is maybe, I don't know, 100 feet from the main locker room, the training room and stuff. So I remember the guys were like looking at me like, because they could hear every fucking single word. They were like yelling at each other. But yeah, it was sometimes it was heated, but at the same time, I understand you have to have a really thick skin to play for Torts, because sometimes he just tried to push the guy for like to the limits, where he just tried to take maximum that you can bring from you. So that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine you guys had some choice words and some battles. Some unfortunate news, Marian, this morning. Larry Brooks passed away at 75 years old, Hall of Fame writer. Did you remember any encounters with him and your time with him in New York? Because he's a giant in the hockey world, and it's very unfortunate that he passed at such a young age.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it's Larry was a cool guy. I liked him. Obviously, he was he was a nice guy, but then he wasn't really nice guy sometimes when he just ask you different type of questions. I mean, he was a journalist, he was doing his job, but at the end of the day, I always got along good with him. And when I was in New York, or even when I was playing for our team, come to New York, he came down. We talked after record, just how are things going, and the hockey world will miss him for sure.
Yeah, Jans was saying earlier, he's like, I really got along with him. I never read his stuff. I might have been pissed off if I had read it, but I respected him. We had him on last year, Biz, remember?
Yeah, he was awesome.
Respected that he'd show up. He was in the room, right? He would be writing things about guys, but he had no problem then facing the guys. And I think that's probably a little more difficult than it sounds, because guys get pissed off if they read it. And he had balls in terms of like stepping to guys that he was calling out in the New York Post. So yeah, what a giant.
And he could get Torts going. That for sure.
Were you there when that happened?
Oh yeah. It was. Oh man, it was. Yeah, and it was hilarious. We're like laughing with the guys after, but like also about Torts. I remember we're practicing in Terrytown, so it was like 45 minutes from the city, right? And 90% of the guys were living in the city. And remember, we're carpooling, and I was going in with Steve Eminger a lot of times, and Brad Richards. And after a shitty game, coming down to the rink next day, that you're gonna get a fucking hour of video. And we're like, holy shit, it's gonna be a shit show. And he used to have, when he was doing his video clips, he used to have like subtitles on the bottom before the clip started. So it was something like this, like number 10, where the fuck you think you're going? Like me, or some other guys, like you could just see before the clip started, and the subtitle was there to remind him what's going to happen. And then he just ripped you apart. But at the end of the day, you laugh about it, but it was not very pleasant back then, like.
That is unreal. Actually, we were talking to Wayne last night. The best thing about working with him is when you're watching the game behind the scenes, he's just telling you all these old stories. And he said that Glenn Sather would do the same thing, but they had a chair, and they'd make you put a clown, like the clown wig on and the clown nose, and everybody would have to sit in the chair at some point, and they would just get ripped. And I'm like, did he give it to you? He's like, oh yeah, one of the most of anyone, right? You got to keep your leaders accountable and the best players, and then it trickled down from there. So when I heard that they had a specific chair and you had to sit it on the throne to get ripped every game or every practice with the video, I was dying.
Actually, Gabby, you'll love this. Last night, because you probably didn't see it, they were talking about like testing or whatever, and Wayne goes, the year I had 92 goals, I did 7 sit-ups in camp, and then the year I had 7 goals, I did 125 sit-ups. So what does it matter?
Yeah,
you don't score from the gym.
No, you don't.
Gabby, were you ever a part of any of Slatz's? Like, he'd come in once a year, and I remember when I first got there, like we lost like 2 games or whatever, and someone was like, oh yeah, just wait, Slats will come in, then we'll go on like a 10-game heater. And he comes in, fedora, cigar, and you're like, oh shit. And he just starts ripping everybody. Ripping.
Oh, yeah.
He actually did it to us. We went to go see the premiere of the Entourage movie. We were in the movie theater. It was just us and some of the guys from the Entourage movie. sitting in there in L.A. and he went around the movie theater and just lit us up.
In
and then
front
we
of
went
the
on
actors?
and then we went on like a 10-game heater.
He's done that sometimes, and he just sat there and guys, just what the fuck, go get drunk or something. I don't give a shit. Just start fucking play, and his fucking cigar. He had these little scissors that he always cuts a little bit of cigar. I never seen him
Didn't smoke it.
lit the cigar. Like he just sucked on it, and he had these little like scissors that he always like cut it away, and then he just unbelievable.
Do you remember what he said to you specifically, Jans?
I honestly, I think I had just gotten there, so it wasn't like too bad. He probably didn't even know who I was, thank God. But yeah, some guys got it, and it was like, oh man,
who got it the worst?
I think it was the same thing. It was like the big dogs. I think it was like Ryan McDonough, who was like the captain. I think he went and like he challenged the big guys. He wasn't a guy like picking on fourth line guys or 6 D-man. I think he was attacking the big boys, like Wayne said.
Yeah, I remember he was saying, like Torres was saying, giving me shit like, I think I got a hat trick against Islanders, and then next day we played somebody, and after first period he just fucking started ripping guys. He said, "Fucking this guy, fucking scoring against Bantam teams, scoring against Bantam teams."
Do it against a real team.
It was probably the game I gave you.
Yeah, that's the word. Like, yeah, and then you're never tired. It's all in your head. You can never be tired. It's all in your head. Fucking after 15 lappers, 3 times 15 lappers, in testing 6 times 3 laps, 3-mile run. Yeah, it's all in your head.
Just in your head.
That's why everyone in New York has to get hip surgery because of that drill that he used to do.
No shit. Were you traded to Columbus, or was that a signing? Like, were you shocked?
For Brassard, right?
I was traded, actually. I remember I had like 10 teams no trade, and not obviously, but Columbus was one of those teams that I had to kind of sign a waiver to be traded there. But I remember it was before the game against Pittsburgh, and my in-laws, then it was my girlfriend's parents, now in-laws, but they were leaving to go back home. So I take naps from, I don't know, 12:30 or whatever after lunch. I shut it down for 2 hours, and then I stayed up a little longer. And I had no idea, trade deadline, whatever. I was like, there's no way I'm going to get traded. And all of a sudden I get a phone call. If my in-laws wouldn't be there, I would have been sleeping. But then, so I got a phone call from Slaz, and he told me that, they want to trade me to the Columbus, and give me 5 minutes or whatever to think about it, because I had to sign a thing, and they already had the guy downstairs with the papers. And I was like, okay, so I talked to Vinny Prospel. He was in Columbus, talked to him quick and about the team and stuff. And then, I just couldn't come into the room for that Pittsburgh game, to the room where you're not wanted, So I signed it. I went to Columbus, and that was it. But if it weren't for my in-laws, who knows what would have happened down the road.
Well, you lasted longer than Jeff Carter.
Yeah. It was an unfortunate kind of time in Columbus. I mean, great group of guys, but injuries again, and didn't work out very good.
But that year, so you were traded that year, and then the next season was an Olympic year, and you had played in 2006 in Italy and 2010 in Vancouver. So the Olympics in Russia, you were injured for that one?
Yeah, it was. I got sandwiched between. First, I had my knee. I was out with MCL for 8 weeks or whatever was it. And then I come back, first game, 4th shift. It was actually on a goal that I set somebody up. And then 4th shift of the game. And then I got sandwiched by Ronaldo and somebody else, and broke my clavicle. And that I missed Olympics. And I remember talking to then my girlfriend, my wife now, that I was gonna hang it up. Like I was like, I've had enough of this fucking shit, these injuries, surgeries and all that stuff. And I was gonna honestly hang it up. But she was there. I know she told me just, try. You love the game, just try it and stuff. And she was the biggest supporter, and 6 months later I was fucking holding the Stanley Cup. So
no
that was,
shit,
that
eh?
was
You were gonna
unbelievable,
hang him
yeah.
up. Holy.
Yeah, I was down. Like, it was like, I remember John Davidson came down. He was GM or president then, and he came down. I was in the room. After that, I broke my clavicle, and I was like, I remember in the training, I was like bawling. I was like, fuck. I was so frustrated and sad, and I was crying. I remember, and then talking to my wife that I'm done. I was gonna hang it up, and then stayed with it, and yeah. Things turned around.
And what's crazy is that maybe missing time that year, once the playoffs began, when you got to LA, you had 14 goals in that run, 4 more goals than anyone else on the Kings. You win the cup. It's like, I wonder if that, like, not playing the whole season almost helped you, even though it's injuries and rehab, which is a grind. Like, you had to feel the best of your career throughout that playoff run.
Yeah, I felt good. I don't know. I never thought about it that way, but yeah, coming there, it was amazing. Like, I could feel that when I got there right away, it was a winning team. Like, you had guys that have won before, and the attitude and everything. It was just unbelievable. Like, it was just wow. I played, got to play with Robin Regier, which he was the probably hardest defenseman I've ever played with, playing 8 times back then when I was in Mini, played against Calgary 8 times. And he was just pain in the ass, always on the ice. He was a hard guy to play against. And Stoley was there, who I kind of knew from playing against him for a long time, even like in junior times. He was drafted the same year. And yeah, all these guys, and Kopi and Brownie, and it was amazing. And the guys welcomed me with open arms, and they were treating me unbelievable. And yeah, fast forward, first round down 3-0 against
That's the craziest
San Jose.
part.
And I remember national team coach from Slovakia was calling me. I was sitting on the beach with Marcel Hossa. He was visiting me, and we're down 3-0. It was after practice, and he called me like, so, hopefully you're gonna come for World Championship. I was like, it's not over. Like, and the whole locker room, the feeling, the vibe I got, I never felt before, that there was no doubt that we can, like, there was nothing, that nobody was down. Everybody was just like, we can make this work. And then, Jeff Carter was there, Mike Riches, who have done it before in Philly. And, it was unbelievable. And the next thing you know, like, we were winning Game 7 in San Jose.
What changed like that? I mean, I witnessed it in Boston once I was done playing, right? With I think I might have still playing with Philadelphia and the Bruins that year, and they were even down 3-0 in Game 7. But I didn't know if there was a speech or anything. I guess you're saying the entire team was just like, this thing is not done yet. That's all you guys needed to have is the belief.
Yeah, the belief, and then even like practicing and everything was just like, the season's not done. You could just feel that, it's about the next game. It's about the next game. Got to get ready and just try to frustrate their big guys, and we've done it. So yeah, unbelievable.
Did Torts almost prepare you for Daryl Sutter?
You know what? Daryl was great. Like, the thing is, I love Daryl, but you couldn't see what kind of Daryl you get every day. You know what I mean? Like, if it's grumpy Daryl or happy Daryl, it's always like he tries to keep you walking on eggshells. Never try to get too comfortable. Like, we won the game, and next day we would come in, and he would be grumpy face, and he would start shooting pucks against at us, in practice, when you got on the ice, you circle around, he would just fucking shoot pucks at us, you know what I mean? And just here we go, but like, and then we lose or something, then he comes happy. So you could never read him, what kind of Daryl you're gonna get, or what's behind it. If it's psychologically, he's just trying to get it, somehow into your head or whatever, or seem like he always tries to, so you're ready, like walking on eggshells, never get too comfortable, and worked well. I like Daryl, obviously. When I wasn't playing good or something, he he let me have it, but that's the way it is.
I'm looking at the playoff bracket from that Cup team. So in all 4 games, you dusted the Sharks. Like it was 4-1 in the game 6, 5-1, and then you won in 7 against Anaheim, and then you were up 3-1 against Chicago, and they forced game 7. So that entire run through the West was a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Oh, gauntlet.
Yeah, like I remember. I think we're playing at home. We're up 3-2 or something like that, and we could have closed that, win the 4th game. But at the end of the game, it was like 7 minutes or I don't know, 5 minutes left, and it was I think tie game, and Peakin hit a puck, and I was just kind of following him around in our zone, and I remember he was my guy, and he scored a goal. And I remember after that, it was 3-3. Series was 3-3, and I remember going home, and I was like, "Fuck me!" Like I fucked it up. I was really down on myself. I was like, and then we're flying to Chicago, and night before we had dinner, and Daryl came to me and he goes, like, just go out play. And he could see that I was kind of down, and he said, like, just go on play, you're gonna be good, like, don't worry about it, like, we're gonna win, just really calmed me down. And it was amazing that kind of I really because I took it too hard. I was like, I'm gonna fuck it up for these guys and everything, but like it worked out great. And then game 7, we came and won that series in 7 again. So
What was the score of that game 7, and did you have any?
yeah, I tied it. I think 11 minutes to go.
Oh.
5-4 in OT, Biz.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was
Wow, you
who got the
did
OT
Justin
winner?
Williams score in OT?
No, it was Martinez. Yeah, Martinez.
that's right.
And then he got the
second or
OT
first-
winner in the Cup
Yes.
final.
Yes.
How was that? That must have been so nice for you, like beating the Rangers, the team that essentially said they didn't want you anymore and, trade you to Columbus. Like, how fucking fulfilling was that?
Geez, you ruined Hank's career. That you scored the 4 of the 5 goals, I believe, on him, and then you end up fucking beating him in the finals.
You know what? Like, that was a topic. Journalists were asking me, about the same thing, like playing New York and stuff, and playing them right now in the final. But you know what? Coming to that series, I had no fucking doubt that we're gonna win. Like, it was amazing feeling that I had with myself and the team that there's no chance that we're gonna fucking fuck this up. And then the first game we're playing at home, after 15 minutes, we could have been down 3-0. They had like 2 breakaways, Kreider flying, Pouliot flying, like they were like flying. And Quickie stood on his head. Obviously, they had a couple posts as well, but like we got kind of lucky. We won that game, and then got up on 3-0 going to New York. We lost there, but then coming back home, and I remember I took a nap before every game, but then the game 5 before game 5 at home, we were staying in a hotel before games, and I couldn't sleep for shit. Like, I was nervous. I don't know, usually I take 3 shits before the game. Maybe I took fucking 10. And I was like so nervous. But then when Marty scored that game winner, like it was second overtime, everybody was tired, but I jumped from that bench like I was like 25 again, you know what I mean? Like, it was amazing. Like, it was just unbelievable feeling. And then I think when you win, when you're 32, I was, or something, and then I thought that I'm never going to win the Cup. When you're at that age and with everything was going on, you really take it, you really appreciate it that you win later in your career than if you win your first or second year, because then you probably think it's easy and maybe you don't appreciate it as much. But then, like, I was like, it was the best feeling ever in sports. I mean, like,
You tied up game 2 late in the third too, and when you guys won in double overtime. That's pretty sick. You just scored big goals, Gabby.
Did you guys play? Did they play Anaheim in the second round?
Yeah.
yes.
And then you tied one up in game 1 of that fucking series too.
Yeah, I remember like it was like 5 seconds left, and then I scored in overtime too. So yeah, the things were just going my way, and then playing, with Kopi and Brownie and those guys, cards. Doughty, best defenseman. Like he was quick. He stood on his head. It was unbelievable. It was like like kind of
You were gonna retire.
rejuvenated or something. What's that? Yeah,
You were going to
exactly.
retire.
Yeah.
And Kopi announced it's going to be his last year. And before I get to Kopi, though, like that, I don't know what they gave up to get you, but that might go down as one of the best trade deadline acquisitions of all time, scoring 14 goals. And then just
Crazy.
the goals you scored, like how many tying goals, winning goals. But Kopi announced it's going to be his last year. I would imagine one of the best players you got to play with, incredible leader, so humble and an incredible human being. Like, what was your experience with him?
Yeah, he was unbelievable. Like he was kind of like quiet leader, led by example, and what a horse! Like I mean, it's crazy. He could eat up so many minutes, and just a horse. I would describe him, and you think he seems like he's a good skater too. You know what I mean? When he gets going, he's a really good skater. Like he's so strong. He takes guys on his back. I never realized how good and fast skater when he gets going, he really is. And the vision, always defensively. I mean, the shot, everything, just the whole package, and what a career he's had. He could have played another, I don't know how many years. He's built that he could last. You know what I mean? So good for him.
Biz, Matt Fratton, who ended up playing 4 games for Columbus, a second-round pick and a third-round pick.
Whoa.
That's masterclass in LA. And I think that's a really cool
Dean Lombardi,
story.
folks.
I think it's a cool story that you're saying, what's the coach's name? I'm drawing a blank. Sutter. He could be a motherfucker, but like you needed to hear that before Game 7 against Chicago. Like that shows that, at times you got to realize what a guy needs. Sometimes they need a kick in the ass, and you needed just a little, hey, dude, it's all right, go play. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was great. He was great with us. Just even now, like when we had a 10 year, couple of years ago after the 14, we had a 10-year cup reunion in LA, and we went out to Ojai for 2-3 days. It was unbelievable. Like what a setup, and I think Stoley and Greener set it up, and great job by the heads in LA that let it happen. But we talked about it, and we were laughing with the guys that we could never see what kind of Daryl you're gonna get the next day. It was amazing. And then Chris Sutter, his son, he always comes to locker room when he was around, and you could be down, you could be not be in the mood, but he always comes in and lifts everybody up. It was amazing to see.
The dance cam, they used to put him on the Jumbotron during games, and he would get the crowd going. And it was probably nice for you. I know your last year you ended up getting traded to Ottawa, but getting to play 1,000 games, like going from potentially retiring at way too young, winning a Stanley Cup, and then getting the silver stick and getting that achievement, that must have been a nice way to just cap off your career.
Yeah, for sure. Great achievement. To play that many games. I don't know if it even hit like the. I don't think I even kind of realized what kind of career I had. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's still gonna come but still kind of sometimes I pinch myself if it's real that I get to lift the cup and I get to play with that many unbelievable players. Playing unbelievable cities and in front of great fans, and play 1,000 games. So it's surreal.
You were just electric to watch. I just got to bring up, this is the Roback last question. Use code Chiclets on roback.com for 20% off all your first purchase through the end of the week. CHICLETS on RHOBACK.com. Hoodies, polos, swim trunks, and more with code Chiclets. You mentioned all the surgeries. I kind of ask guys who've been through that much with their body, How's your body now? Because like I know I have some issues that'll never go away. I wouldn't trade a thing, but with all your hip and knee stuff, are you good now? Are you able to be active, whether it, tennis or whatever you do for fun?
Yeah, I mean, like, I have to get a knee replacement. My knee is like bone to bone, no cartilage, no meniscus. So I was supposed to get it done last March, but then I kind of pushed it away. But I need to get it done. Like, only sport I can do is pretty much like skiing, because it's like the sliding move. Like when Hossa had his goodbye game here in Slovakia, I just tried to get on the ice. I went on for 20 seconds just to try it out. And I just had to get out. I couldn't do anything. So I was bummed out about that. But yeah, I need to pretty much get it done. Like my kid, I have 3 and 5 year olds girls. And when they try to learn how to bicycle, I have to put a rollerblades on in order to, I couldn't run for shit, so put a rollerblades on and just hold them that way. But yeah, that's pretty much the thing that I have to get it done. And otherwise I'm okay, my back and everything. But those surgeries put a kind of toll on your body, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
Fuck, I'm happy you got a cup, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, me too, man.
When did you do the Dancing with the Stars, though, if your body is that?
That, I think it was a nail in the coffin for my knee.
Okay.
That was...
you did Dancing with the Stars?
His wife's a dancer. Dancing with the
What?
Stars.
The one in Slovakia or the one in North America?
No, it's Slovakia.
Slovakia.
Yeah. And yeah, my wife, she was a professional dancer, and then so we were on as a couple.
Not the kind you like, Biz.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were on as a couple, and it was unbelievable. Like I loved it. Like it was great. Like obviously, my wife wouldn't let me dance with anybody else, which I don't blame her. But yeah, it was a great experience, and that was kind of nail in the coffin for my knee. I remember last round I was dancing. I had a cortisone shot. I had like kinesio tape on my knee. So. But it was fun.
So Torts prepared you for Sutter, and Sutter prepared you for your wife as a coach in the dancing department.
Yes.
That's kind of how it went, right? All right, yeah.
Yep.
Good to know.
This is amazing. I got it on YouTube. It's like he's sitting on a plane. He's got the yellow shirt and the black tux.
Wait till you see the one with them in bed.
Oh
yeah.
You got the feathers on. You look like Big Bird.
Send me these videos right now.
Just YouTube.
No, it's on the dark web.
Where your buddies must have been just chewing you up in group chats.
Oh yeah, and then who else was there? Like Boris Valabik. We have a podcast together, and he was on a show. We're on a show together. So it was
the basketball guy.
NHL guy, Boris Valabik. He played in Atlanta for 80 games. Defenseman. He was a first rounder. Big guy.
I think he was drafted maybe my year, actually. Yeah.
He's 86.
Okay, yeah. I think he might have won a Calder Cup with the Chicago Wolves.
Yes, he did. Yeah. And so he was on a show. We have a podcast together, and he was on a show same year. So it was hilarious. We were just giving it to each other. It was fun.
What place did you come in?
It's Big Bird.
I came actually fourth. So
Nice.
we ended up semifinal, yeah.
You can't walk anymore, but you got 4th place.
His wife's like, you're going to take this fucking cortisone and you're going to dance your ass off, right?
It was unbelievable. Like we haven't fought once, and she's living my life pretty much for, I don't know, we've been together since 2011 pretty much. And she was living my hockey life. And then I try to look into her life for 3-4 months, and it's unbelievable. The dancers, it's a hard fucking sport. I can tell you that much.
You really got into it. You're very like,
He's good.
Fucking
What
love that.
do you want him to not be into it?
No, I mean, but just like he's got the buttons down on his shirt, you could basically see his nipples. I mean, this is.
It's his wife.
Yeah,
it's his wife.
Yeah,
no, not
they put you in some
his.
weird shit. They put you in some weird stuff. So, but you gotta go
Gabby,
along
this
with
has
it.
been
Good for you.
this has been awesome, man. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
We really appreciate this. Just a legend of the game, man. It was a disaster playing against you, but a lot of fun to watch you play. So congrats on everything, and we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for having me, and good luck. You guys do an awesome job with whatever you guys do. It's unbelievable.
Thank you, and we'll keep an eye out for maybe a month or two, some maybe something with the Olympics and Marian Gaborik in Italy. So good luck,
Sounds
man.
good.
Keep
Thank
crushing
you.
it.
We should do a Chiclets dancing with the stars, boys.
No thanks.
Ooh.
No, what do you mean? You don't
I'll
think
judge.
You,
I'll
you don't
judge.
think Bree would want to get in the mix with you? See
Not
those,
with me.
see
She
those
might
witty-
be want to dance with somebody else. She's seen
She'd
me
be like,
dance.
hey, can I dance with Marian?
Oh no,
All right, boys.
this is incredible. Thank you so much for your
Awesome.
time, brother.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Guys, we got to take one moment here and talk about DraftKings. Hockey's here. It's back. It's better than ever. And this season, the DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. An official sports betting partner of the NHL brings you all the speed, skill, and nonstop action that you love. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the unmatched intensity of the NHL right to your fingertips. From player props to the thrill of live in-game betting, every drop of the puck is your shot to win big. New customers, this one is for you. Listen up. Bet $5. If your bet wins, you'll get paid out $300 in bonus bets instantly into your account. Light the lamp all season long with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Chiclets. That's code Chiclets, CHICLETS, to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Thank you very much to Marian Gaborik. What a story. From retirement to lifting the cup on the beach. I saw a picture of him just crushing champagne on the beach with the cup sitting right there. So what a guy, what a player. We want to thank him so much. And now it's time for you know what, boys? RA's Wild Wacky World. And he's muted.
No, RA's got his mic muted. Oh no, maybe it's just not working.
Oh, shit.
Hello.
That's okay, all right.
Everybody.
Hello, everybody. I want to give up my top 4. He's right now
He's still
listing
talking.
out his top 5 albums by the Rolling Stones. Oh, he's gone.
Okay,
He's
well,
gone.
He gone.
He's gone. We needed one of those entrances from RA.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
That, you know what I mean? That's just classic. That's just classic RA right there. He was probably talking about what he wants to talk about to himself, muted it so we didn't hear him, and maybe forgot to unmute it. You know, that can happen to anyone, Biz.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when he hops back on, though, we're gonna have to do a little breathing to calm him back down.
Yeah,
right?
he'll
We don't
be
want him being all
flipping.
scrambly. He doesn't have to feel bad about muting his mic. I also want to hear about his experience with the wrestling. He went and saw John Cena's
I
last
know.
performance in Boston. So here he is. RA's back. What's up, brother?
What's going on, boys? Yeah, little mic issue is probably inevitable, a little rusty. But yeah, I had a wild week, man. I usually do nothing. I stay home, watch games, go down to the club, watch a few
Time out.
games.
We can't
Gotta
start
give us a hello.
without the hello, everybody.
Okay, no, that's why I thought we were gonna. I don't know if we were.
Come
doing
on,
a
go,
take
all
two.
right,
need
quick.
it. We
All
need
right.
it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 4th edition of RA's World here at the Spittin Chiclets podcast. Biz, we got lots to talk about. I had a very busy weekend. I don't usually do shit. I'm old. I'm washed. But I went to an AHL game. I went to wrestling, and I went to comics. Come home with a god. Lots going on this weekend. Good stuff.
Buddy, that was awesome to see. I saw that you had a picture with Luch. Did you ride the Zamboni at that game?
Actually, they had a little truck. Me and my buddy Mark Lewis, he's kind of a Massachusetts Instagram legend. They had us on the back of the truck just chucking T-shirts out to the crowd. They had the shooter, but they didn't use it for whatever reason. I was just like, whatever you do, bro, just make sure you clear the glass and don't throw your arm out. But the thing was like going at a good clip, man. I had to like hold on for cover and shit. But it was fun. I'll tell you, that's a great little barn out in Springfield. I'd never been there before. Holds about 7,000. Not a bad seat in the place. Definitely the warmest rink I've ever been in my life. I had a hoodie and my life preserver vest, and I had to take both off. I was sweating my arse off out there. But a great take. And yeah, it was great to catch up with Luch. I hadn't seen him in a bit. Obviously, he had his difficulties he went through, and he's made a lot of changes in his life in St. Louis. That's why they brought him in. I think they did a similar thing with Montgomery a while back, a second chance situation. And hey, I'm all about second chances, as we all know. So he was out there. I mean, Luch has never been the fleetest of foot, but he kept the pace. I talked to him out. He said his wind is fine, and I get the sense he's just going to do probably another game or so, and then St. Louis will probably bring him up and maybe give that locker room a kick in the ass, because it sure seems like they could use one.
Yeah, they need
I
it.
would imagine that there's probably a big bubble around him on the ice where none of those AHL guys come near him. Imagine playing in the AHL. It's your first year pro and you see Milan Lucic on the ice.
Yeah,
No.
but if it's some kid that's looking to make a name, there's definitely somebody out there that'd be willing to be like, if I do something to Luch and he's willing to go me, like I'm gonna get recognized some way.
Yeah, for the 99.9 percentile that
Yes.
aren't lunatics that probably won't want to go near him, but
Yeah.
good for him. And like you said, RA, second chances. It seems like him and his wife are thriving, and couldn't be happier for the guy to get back to the game he loves. So what else, did you talk about anything else after the game with him?
Yeah, well, just basically, how you been? Happy for you that you're doing well, and just had a little bit of a chat. But definitely not the AHL 20 years ago. Nobody went near him. Nobody even sniffed him. Like, I mean, it's just not the same era. Like, I know, like you say, guys maybe want to make a name, but who the hell wants to fight him? He might be 37, but he's still going to pulverize whoever he fights. And I told him after, I said, Luch, 18 years ago, I saw you debut with the Bruins back. When you never played a minor league game before, and then his first minor league game, I went to both of them. So it was pretty cool. A little bit of a full circle moment. And his wife, Britt, she's a hot ticket, man. She's definitely charismatic. She's electric too. So we had a great time sitting there. She bought us T-shirts and those crazy chains and hats. So I had a great old time in Springfield. A lot of fun.
That's awesome. Definitely a good home barn. One of those barns where you travel to as an away guy and you're like, get me the fuck out of here, man. This place is a dump. The glass and boards don't move. It's like they're made out of cement. And RA, Vetrano famously has a tattoo of the skyline. Does he not, of Springfield, Mass?
Yep.
Hilarious.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah.
There's a famous strip club where all the guys used to go there all the time. And I guess they would have a buffet, and it was just one of those places that the AHL guys would hang out at. Have you ever been to that strip club? And I believe it's called Mardi Gras or something.
I have not. I think I've been to Springfield maybe 5 times in my life. The Basketball Hall of Fame, maybe taking a bus back to college for a pit stop, but haven't spent a lot of time out there. But it was great. A lot of the 413 is a big Chiclets fan, so I took a lot of pictures, a lot of hellos, a lot of well wishes. So it was nice. It was nice to get out and see an AHL game, go to that part of the state, and feel the love from all the Chiclets.
You go to the
fans.
casino after?
No, we went to the family room after, to say what's up to Luch, and then headed back east to Boston. So great time, great take. And then I was like date week, and when me and my buddy Mark, he had previously asked to go to this, Comics Come Home. I know Keith and Witt are familiar with it.
I went last year. It was great.
It was unbelievable. It's the 29th version biz. It's called Comics Come Home. It's for the Cam Neely Foundation. Fuck cancer, by the way. It's 29 years he's done this show. I don't even know what the tickets were, but Dennis Leary, Lenny Clark, Conan O'Brien, Sebastian Maniscalco burned the fucking place down. Sarah Silverman, Robert Kelly, and Michelle Buteau I'd never heard of. She was great, but this gal, Erin McGuire from Arlington, wasn't familiar with her. Absolutely friggin' hysterical. She started the show off, but for almost 3 hours, man. I don't even know what, like I said, what the ticket was, but the comedic value you get from going this. I mean, Maniscalco alone, he gets probably $1.50 a ticket. He was awesome. Conan O'Brien was awesome. I was trying not to fangirl at the red carpet. I should have just went up and shook Conan O'Brien's hand, but I kind of chickened out. But it was
Did they all end up getting up and doing like a 15-minute routine?
Oh yeah. Everyone I just named did a set. I mean, 8 different people went up and did
it's
sets.
amazing.
Last year, the guy Robert Kelly or Bobby Kelly, I think he was introduced as, was hilarious. I think he was the last guy to go last year,
this year too.
He was. Oh my God, he was hilarious.
How'd you get tickets to that, RA? Did you?
He snuck in.
Not this one. The dude I just mentioned, Mark Lewis. I don't. Probably you guys probably follow him on Instagram. He's a
I've
big.
seen him on Instagram.
I followed him when I saw you tagged him.
Yeah, we buddied up a couple of years ago. He's a character. Like,
you look fucking great.
Look at that jacket, already.
Holy shit! You look like you're walking in like Connor Bedard to the game the other night.
Yeah, what's his name? Schmaltzy. Yeah, he said he liked my drip. So when I hear that, I know that means good shit. Yeah, that's actually a LA Fire jacket. My boys, the Mullen twins, sent it to me a while back. So yeah, just a great night, a lot of laughs. Saw from laughing the next day. Great cause too. And I actually met Bobby Kelly after my buddy Mark. He's pals with him, so it was nice to say hi. I hang out with him afterwards. And then this is hilarious. I had that doctor's appointment Monday. Nothing serious, just a little.
We were trying to call you in, dude.
Yeah.
We were trying to get you to talk bees.
What, you got a hangnail?
No, dude, no, it's weird. I get these like bumps on the sole of my feet, and it's just getting old, man. All this like my fucking arthritis in my hip. I got these bumps on my feet. I thought they were gonna have to cut them out, but I'm gonna get an ultrasound. They're just fucking age, man. You just get
like
things that you don't expect. Yeah, I know. I got a few bumps around.
My pussy head. Did you see my pussy head?
Oh yeah, my mother was wondering. She texted me
4 or 5
Biz.
different vaginas in the back there.
She's like, "What's up with Biz's hair?" I was like, "I don't know, ma. It's friggin' Biz. I think he's trying to change his bed."
As in, why did I shave it?
Yeah, because she was watching the bees on TNT, and she's the first thing she does is text me about Biz's friggin' hair.
All right, is that an old fish tank you're drinking out of?
No, this is It's a baseball. It's when I was at Wrigley for 08. Well, when I went to Oasis, I got a margarita came this on a little sweet.
If there was a goldfish in there, I'd be like, yeah, boom, that's a Cubs goldfish tank.
Swallow like
who loves Cadillac margaritas more than rear?
Jonah Hill, Wolf of Wall Street style. So I was walking home from the hospital, just taking my time. I was, making little goofy videos and stuff, and I'm walking toward the garden. I was going to get some ramen at that place in front of the garden, and there's like all kinds of people. I'm like, what's going on tonight? Celt's on here, B's on here. And then I was like, oh, is it John Cena's last night? Everyone's like, yeah, we're going in. So sitting there, eat my ramen. I look up, I get a ticket. I was like, fuck it. I'm next door. I've been a wrestling 40-something years. And I got the ticket kind of late, and I get in. I was like, when's Cena going? They're like, dude, it already happened. I was like, what? I'm like, I just assumed it was going to be fucking later in the card, but it was the first match. I mean, I was already late when I got the ticket, so I would have missed that anyways. But I stuck around. I was down like the third row. It's so different. Like from when I used to win, here's a little clip right here. That's how close I was right there.
So, but when Cena was, people must have just cleared out, right?
They said, no, everyone stayed after. You couldn't hear a thing. My buddy said it was deafening. Like when he came out, when he won the match, I guess he won the Intercontinental. And I was kind of bummed I missed it, but I just want to kind of take in the atmosphere. And it's so different, obviously, when I went, because it's a live TV show. So, they'll play like CM Punk song and he'll come out, but there's a delay. So then he's just out there on the ring, like kind of like the song will play again. It was kind of weird. There's lasers going all over the place and shit. It's just totally different. But I'll tell you, the lady wrestlers, they're the best. Unbelievable. The athleticism
they get
on them.
me going.
What's her name? Rhea Ripley, I think. I think she's Australian. She's
married though. That one's married.
Man, we can take care of that. And then the Kabuki Warriors, and then the other girl, I forget her name, lady. They were just the best athletes in the business, man. What they do is stunning. So it was fun. It was something different. I mean, I'm not gonna make it a habit again for like 40 years.
All right,
ago,
did the bodybuilder girls get you going a little bit?
I'm not crazy about like totally jack girls, but I am that Rhea Ripley. I'm a fan of hers. I saw her do interviews like sans makeup, like she has that like her makeup on for the show. She's definitely very attractive, and something about that Australian accent. Good night, mate. Gets me going.
Love me a 6-pack on a woman.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't think I'll have to borrow it from her because I ain't gonna
nothing
have a
like in a large
anytime
clip
soon. So yeah, just a kind of a fun weekend, a little wild weekend out of the blue. I do want to mention, you probably already mentioned her on the show, Pasta, 400 goals, awesome stuff. I mean, the Bruins
we actually didn't mention
rolling.
that.
Oh, way to go, Rear.
That's
why you're playing cleanup.
The bench cleared. Now that was a topic of discussion already. I don't ever remember the bench clearing for 400 goals. Do you guys?
I don't, and I noted it in the blog I wrote. People chatting online. Of course, everybody has an opinion nowadays, but I honestly, I thought it was just indicative of how much that team loves and respects Pasta that they did it. You know what I mean? Right. 400, I'd never seen it. Obviously, Tavares get his 500th, but it was a blowout. I didn't think, at least we're going to come off the bench when they're losing 6-1 or 6-2, whatever. But I think it was just how much they love that guy. And Sturm talked about it after the game, and it was just indicative of the love, respect they have for him, and whatever. It's,
I believe you have to ask the league. I think you have to ask the league if you're going to do that.
Oh, really? This is my hot take. If you score 400 with the same organization, I think that it's fair game.
Okay.
Like how many guys
if you
have scored
one goal, everyone should come on the ice.
First goal, it should be allowed too. Yeah.
Every goal you score, everyone should come on. So
Old
hard
school,
to
they
score.
used to do that.
I know.
That's another thought. I think the hairy knuckle line is kind of a happy medium.
I thought people said that it was just because it was against the Maple Leafs they did it. Which, if that was the
I
case,
said on the broadcast, I got PTSD the way he scored it. It felt like that OT winner, Game 7, after Monty called out Pasta. You knew it was going to come back to bite us. How many players have scored 400 goals for one organization? I bet you the list is less than 30 guys.
Not sure. I
Yeah,
know
for
one
one
Stop. I'm looking.
I'd take the under with you, Biz.
Because that to me is why I'm okay with, like, people, like you said, people are like, oh, that's like hot take or not to be a buzzkill, but that's ridiculous for 400 goals. Like, first of all, how many guys have scored 400 goals and how many guys have done it for one organization? And as you touched on, RA, like Pasta now, like after the quote unquote glory years, because he was there for the Patrice, the Marchand, the Chara. Now that that's gone, he's still fucking keeping them relevant. So
and Buccigross, he's like the goal savant. He called friggin', Ovechkin breaking Gretzky's record back on like the Mesolithic era or whatever. So he says Pasta, if he should easily get 500. If he stays a Bruin for life, he'll beat Busic's record, team record, 545 goals. So I love him. I hope he doesn't go anywhere. And to the Leafs, this is how, courtesy of my buddy Mike Sullivan on Twitter, including playoffs, 55 games played, Pasta versus Toronto, 37 goals, 34 assists. He's got 71 points in 55 total games versus the Leafs, 1.29 points per game. Sorry, Biz, I love you, buddy, but I had to check that one out.
She says Pasta's going to get 600.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely
how old
getting
is
500.
Pasta?
Still young.
What's he, 28, 29, I think he is?
What?
Around there, but is he?
He's not 30
Is he 20
yet?
He started young, man.
Is he? I'm terrible.
him.
He's
Yeah,
29.
29. Okay, all right. It was close,
Wow.
yeah. So,
500.
boys,
600.
it's been a few episodes. I haven't talked about all the movies I went to see this year. I know movies are my big thing. I still love going to the theater. I have no problem going by myself. I don't know why people think it's weird. You're going to sit there and not talk anyway. So, I want to talk about a few things I saw this year that I really liked, really stood out. First off, Sinners. I don't know if any of you guys watched that yet. Ryan Coogler, he directed the 2 Black Panthers and the first Creed, made the studios $1 billion, so they let him kind of do this pet project. And it's a wild, wild movie. It starts off 2 like black gangsters. They used to work for Al Capone. They go back to like 1930s Mississippi. And Michael B. Jordan plays them, both characters. They're twins. And they want to start like a juke joint, to drink and gamble and carouse late night. And then all of a sudden, it's just go to a regular movie. Then it's not a spoiler. It's the vampire aspect shows up. It's not
That's
just
why I'm not seeing it. It's just that to me,
The vampires don't get me
it's
going,
just-
but
Yeah, I was
if
in.
it had just
I was
stayed the way it sounded, it sounds great to me. When you bring in the vampire side, I'm out.
But I heard incredible reviews, RA, about the movie.
Yeah, I went in blind, and it's like me and my mother. Like, we haven't been to the movies in forever. Like, I was, want to go see this one? I don't really know much about it. And if my mother heard vampire, she wouldn't have wanted to see it. And she really enjoyed it. Even a couple of days later, she's like, wow, that movie kind of got in my head because, it brings up, there's a big blues music aspect to it. There's like even some like an Irish culture aspect to it. And yeah, if you're not a vampire person per se, you might not like it, but if you put it on and start watching it, you might get sucked in. And it was pretty, no pun intended, but you might enjoy it. Anyways, I gave Sinners 4.5 warthogs. That's my scale, is 4.5 warthogs. Yeah, we're on a 1 to 5 warthog scale. So yeah, I thought it was really good. It's probably definitely gonna get a best picture nomination. Screenplay. I assume Michael B. Jordan's gonna slam dunk for best actor because he played 2 different roles. But yeah, great movie.
You think he's gonna win it?
I don't think he's gonna win
a nomination.
I think he's definitely gonna get a nomination.
Okay.
So another movie I was really looking forward to. Like, I saw the original Superman, the movie, 1978. I was 6 years old, and it was awesome. I mean, there was a little kid. It was really the first superhero movie that ever really came out and sort of started the craze. So I was, I'm still a Superman guy. I didn't like the last few, the Zack Snyder ones. I thought they were kind of dark and dreary. And James Gunn directed this one. They're kicking off the whole new DCU universe. So I thought it was a little overstuffed because, Biz, they want to create these worlds, so they want to make more movies. So, what Marvel did for 20 years. So it was a little overstuffed, maybe too many characters, but I did enjoy the hell out of it. The guy who played Superman, David Corn Sweat, never heard of him. And they did a good job. That's a smart move to bring in sort of an unknown actor to play him, because then you don't have like, you're not looking at him, that's Leo or that's Denzel or whoever. He was excellent in it. What's his name? Who played Lex Luthor? Nicholas Holt. But I think I'm in love with Lois Lane, though. Rachel Brosnahan, she plays that Mrs. Maisel. Do you ever see that show on Showtime?
No.
Yeah, it's like a 50s Jewish housewife. She becomes like a stand-up comedian back in the day. But the new Lois Lane was dynamite. But it was definitely very much a comic book movie. If you're not into, that kind of goofy comic book stuff, might not be your favorite. But either way, Superman, I give it 3.5 warthogs. I enjoyed it. It's, it's optimistic. Superman, there's an element to him that is, I guess, a little corny and, sweet. But I thought they nailed the tone, and looking forward to the next one. This one, the Naked Gun reboot. All right. I'm leery of reboots, redos. Liam Neeson, unbelievable. I thought he carried the tradition on doing the deadpan. He plays Frank Drebin Jr., the first one, Keith, with Leslie Nielsen. I mean, legit, The Naked Gun is one of the top fucking 10 funniest movies of all time. This was hilarious, dude. Like, Liam Neeson, unbelievably deadpan. Pam Anderson was great. She was sort of like the love interest in it. Paul Walter Hauser, the big dude, he was in Blackbird. He's awesome and everything. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs. I actually got the DVD.
I could see Liam Neeson being unreal with the deadpan, and it's probably awesome to see him out of his normal character, right? I feel like he kind of got pigeonholed in the same type of guy for a lot of those awesome movies when he went and, I will find you and I will kill you. But that would be, and didn't he end up like, aren't him and Pamela like together now because of the movie?
There was some scuttlebutt about that. I don't know if it was PR purposes. I don't know if it was a real thing. I'm pals with his kid. I didn't ask him, but I didn't want to be nosy. But I did send him a picture of one of the headlines. I was like, way to go, fucking dad. You know what I mean? Because there was some talk about it. But he said,
how did you become friends with Liam Neeson's son?
His kid's a good guy.
Yeah.
He texts me once in a while too. He's a good kid.
through DM, Instagram. I've hung out with him down in New York a bunch of times. We would
Getting
Rangers
the text
game.
that your dad's banging some chick is crazy.
There is a rumor that Liam Neeson has the biggest cock in Hollywood.
Yeah, another
Really?
thing I did not confirm
than
with him
John
either.
Hamm?
Let's get his kid on.
But
Bring him in.
Let's get the old man on. But
Surprise guest.
He said that Pam is an absolute sweetheart. She's like a doll of a person, absolutely great lady. Anyways, it's one of those like movies you miss the jokes, and also the jokes like very not politically incorrect. Basically, like jokes we used to hear movies 25 years ago. And I hope this sort of starts a trend where, hey, if people are pissed off, fuck it, man. Let's make the joke and see what happens. So, moving along, one battle after another. This is the best movie I saw this year. The Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Paul Thomas Anderson, Boogie Nights, Magnolia, There Will Be Blood, Biz. We know you like that one. I thought it was excellent. I know people sort of assign their maybe beliefs to the plot, whatever. Basically, Leo DiCaprio, he's a revolutionary. And they start off early in his like revolutionary days. He goes on the run and he has a daughter. Then it flashes forward like 16 years later, and Sean Penn is this batshit crazy army guy who's obsessed with catching him and/or his daughter, and it's essentially like a chase movie. I know he was written and directed a year and a half ago before the last election, so it wasn't based on current events. Although when you watch it, it may feel like he wrote the movie a couple months ago, but it's the scenes at the end with the big chase scene. It's legit one of the best like scenes I've seen in the theater in years. Definitely going to get tons of nominations. Leo's going to get one. Sean Penn's a slam dunk for best supporting actor. So one battle another. I give it 5 Warthogs, man. I saw it twice, 2 or 3 times at the theater. And again, I know some people like, I'm able to separate the real world from art. It's like, hey, man, he doesn't make anybody look good on one side. He wasn't taking sides. It was not a polemic. He wasn't like anything preachy. It was just like, hey, here's a movie. These people did these things. These people did these things, and they chased each other.
Is it like fiction, like a different?
Yeah, it's a fictional movie.
No, I know this didn't happen, but is it like the world we're living in now, or is it like something else happened and it's?
I believe he started writing it a while ago, and then just kind of like. I don't know if because of the political times, it just made sense to finish it more recently. Like, not to say he like rushed to finish it, but I think he was going at it for a while. And just the fact that like today's political climate just matched his idea from when he started it, whatever it was, 15, 20 years ago, and started writing it. It just so happened it all came together. And obviously, like, he's a big enough name and a big enough G where they funded that type of movie where it's very hard to get the types of returns on those types of movies now, right? You have to, not many directors are getting the trust and the funds from these
why? Because you're
companies.
saying there's groups of people that just won't see it out of what it's
just,
about.
It's not a Marvel movie where so many people are going to go see it where you're automatically going to see the profits. Like they had to grind and promote to probably break even, and maybe they're in the and what do you have to promise Leo and these types of actors in order to even do it? Like they're probably getting a slice or percentage of what the gate's taken in. But maybe also not, because Leo and those types of actors appreciate the art, where maybe they're probably willing to leave a little bit of money on the table, and the fact that they can even like be involved in a piece of art that's directed by.
Streaming yet, RA?
Not yet. It's not streaming yet. And Biz, his movies, they typically don't make a lot of money, but I think Warner Brothers was the studio. And this is a case of, hey, we make what we make. If we break even, who cares? Because it's an Oscar movie. It's like this movie's going to be nominated and would definitely win Oscars. And that's more cachet, I think, than, breaking even or making a few bucks. And as far as the screenplay, it was very loosely based on a Thomas Pynchon novel. I think that's how you say his name. His book's a little way over my head. So he had been working on it for a while. It was a very loose adaptation of a book. But yeah, when you watch it, you'll think he wrote the script a month ago, even though he filmed it, like a year and a half ago.
And what was the other thing? Going back to Paul Thomas Anderson, I believe when he was filming There Will Be Blood, did he also do No Country for Old Men?
Well, he directed them, not simultaneously, but yeah, he
but I think that they had to redo something.
I'm sorry, the Coens directed No Country for Old Men. They
Okay.
you know what? They would know it. You're right. They were No Country for Old Men. They were filming like next to There Will Be Blood, and there was like smoke from one of the scenes that the other cameras were catching something crazy. Good, great. That's a great pull, Biz. That's a great
Yeah,
pull.
it was
Biz knows there will be blood. Everything about it.
Oh yeah. I think it was the scene where the oil rig kind of explodes, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so there was smoke in the sky, and then they had to like stall
Ruin the
No
movie.
Country for Old Men for a while. What's that? Are
You
you?
ruined the movie. I haven't seen it.
Oh, that's not the significant. It's a
just kidding.
slow burn. No pun
so-
intended.
Yeah, it's
There will be blood.
2 hour and 45-minute movie, and honestly, it feels like an hour and 45-minute movie. It just like flies along, and it's funny too. It's funny as hell. Leo's absolutely hilarious in it. He's like this deadbeat stoner. Wicked funny in the movie too. So I give, like I said, 5 warthogs and one more. This one was actually not in a theater. It was only available on Netflix. It was called Nonna's. Nonna's an Italian grandma, in case you're not aware of that. And Vince Vaughn made it. I don't know if he directed it or he was involved with the producer, I know. And I threw it on for shits and giggles. You know, Vince Vaughn, he's kind of, you know what you're going to get with Vince Vaughn. By the end of it, man, I was like, oh, where's the Kleenex? I may have a tissue dropping down my head. It's based on a true story of a guy who starts a restaurant, and he has all these Italian grandmothers cook. A lot of them are widowed, or they're kind of lonely or whatever. So he had all these Italian grandmothers come into the restaurant, and they were the cooks for the restaurant. And then they made the movie about it. It's on Netflix. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's definitely a feel-good movie. If you're Italian, you'll absolutely love it. But Nonna's gets 4 warthogs from your boy RA. It's you can watch it on Netflix. So good stuff there. Classic recommendation this week. We're going to go back to 1997. Movie with a couple of Oscars. L.A. Confidential. Streaming in the usual spots. You could probably rent it for a couple bucks. Absolutely terrific movie. Again, one of those movies, put your phone down, pay attention, because the plot starts from the beginning and it doesn't stop the whole way. Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, they were virtually unknown when the movie came out. Kim Basinger won Best Supporting Actress. Was nominated for like 9 or 10 different awards. Best Picture, it lost to Titanic, understandably, but it's just a great 1950s set about, dirty cops, corruption, all this stuff going on. Danny DeVito's in it, so many stars in it. Huge recommendation. Anybody here seen it? LA Confidential?
No.
Or am I going to go 0 for 3? No shit.
No,
huh?
I know the name.
I haven't
of it,
seen
though.
it. Kim Basinger looks incredible in this.
Oh, yeah. She is. That's what she got, like I said, Best Supporting Actress. She went for that. Oh, and went for Screenplay as well. But fantastic movie. Again, you can find it usual spots, rent it, buy it, whatever. LA Confidential, top-notch film. Definitely in another year, probably would have won Best Picture, but for Titanic. I say Titanic.
99% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty good.
Yeah, fantastic flick.
How many
And again,
warthogs?
Yeah, I get 5. LA,
Okay.
definitely. But you can't be like this watching it because, like I said, you'll miss one little plot point. Just constantly moving plot-wise. Awesome movie, awesome story. And what's grinding my gears, we're going to keep with this movie stuff. Buying digital movies, right? Caveat emptor. That's Latin for buyer beware. You're not actually buying anything. I know some people buy them for the kids or whatever. Nobody reads the fine print on these things. I certainly don't. But you really don't own shit. Like, you buy it. It's there most of the time. But if the contract with that studio or whatever runs out and that movie's not there anymore, you don't have access to it anymore.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't own it. You're essentially leasing it through the streaming company. A lot of people don't know this. It doesn't happen a lot, but it can. Like, your movie's gone. Like, well, I bought it. Well, you really didn't.
What if you download it?
Print. Well, if you download it, then like on your computer, you mean?
I don't know how that, yeah.
I mean, I'm talking like streaming. I mean, if you download it on the side, piracy, well, whatever, I guess you'd have it. I'm just talking if you buy it on TV, someday it might be gone. Like again, if there's a...
So did this happen to you recently?
No, it hasn't, but if it's $5, I'll buy stuff.
No, I get what you're saying, all right. If you paid $17.99 to buy the movie and the next thing you know it's not there, what should happen is they should refund you the difference that it would have costed just to rent it.
Yeah, but fine print. That's what they back it up, because they're not going to give you anything back. It's just another reason. And so, like, people laugh at me. I still buy Blu-rays. Carlito's Way, great flick, by the way. 5 warthogs. Another reason to buy CDs and DVDs and stuff is, like, what these companies do, man. They change movies. They'll like edit the movie. So, like, here's an example. There's a classic from the 70s, Gene Hackman, Roy Scheider. The French Connection, great movie based on a true story, one of the all-time great car chases, almost got people killed.
Oh, I thought that was the line for the Canadians.
If you bought, the Sabres actually.
Our Sabres.
say you bought the French Connection, your boomer dad watches it and loves the movie. Well, what happened was because of the PC pussy bullshit that goes on, they edited some lines out. They took lines of Gene Hackman's policeman out. He plays a dirty cop who's, racist and misogynistic and all that stuff that 70s cops were. They took out some of the words he said, it's the N-word, but they take it out of the movie. So say you watch it one time, well, they redid it. They reloaded it without certain language. So then next time you go to watch it, not that you're sitting there waiting to hear those words, but it takes away what the character is. It's telling you this guy's a racist asshole when he uses those words. So it's kind of taken the honest intention away from the movie. And it happened too in Splash. I'm probably going to sound like a dirty old man here, but I was watching Splash, and when she gets out of the water at Statue of Liberty Island there, all of a sudden it cuts to a different scene. Now the scene is, I don't know if you saw Splash, there's Daryl Hannah, she's the mermaid, but she gets out of the water.
This.
Yeah. And she's walking, and then you see her bare ass with the hair. And then when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't mind seeing Daryl Hannah's ass.
It's on Disney. It's on Disney, though.
Yeah.
So
what's grinding your gears is you can't see bare ass and the fact that they're censoring N-bombs. Okay. That's a strong take.
They screw the movie colors. But no, again, same thing. It takes the honest intention away, because when you see a grown woman get out of the water with her ass hanging out, that shows her her I always butcher this, how naive she is, and she's unaware that you're not supposed to be walking around naked. So when you kind of see that, it's like, oh, I thought she might have been a little more hip to that. So basically, if you want to watch the movie, you fell in love with the way you want to fucking watch it, like most people. I mean, this is not going to stop going away, man. I don't know. I don't agree with it. It's some weird form of fucking corporate censorship.
How many people listening do you think have a DVD player?
Wow. I don't.
Of course you don't.
50% maybe?
Not a chance.
No way.
chance.
All right.
Really?
Not a chance.
Unless actually on video games now, I don't even think you put it in anymore.
I bet you more
That's what
people
she
have
said.
a record player than DVD player.
Well, those
For
are
sure.
I went to Newberry Comics the other day. The one at Faneuil Hall's Diamond. I bought like 5 CDs the other day. I still fucking buy CDs or listen to them.
Do you have a record player, RA?
I do not. I didn't jump on the vinyl craze, even though I do got Saturday Night Fever soundtrack right behind me on vinyl.
You do yet?
Yeah, I love.
Who's the one you just
records.
lifted up? It's a black girl, right? She's very talented.
SZA.
Yeah?
She's got a St. Louis Blues jersey on.
That's right.
Wow.
She's got the Colton Parenko.
But if you
The old
listen to
diving
her
board into
tape,
the
if you
ocean
listen to her
picture, too.
tape, you won't see this.
You don't get the
Yeah, you don't
picture,
get to
the
see
album
it.
cover. You're saying.
You know,
How often do you listen to albums, Keith? Like daily, weekly, randomly?
I'd say when I'm out here, I'd say a couple times a week.
Huh.
What I like about
Interesting.
them, RA, is like even like old CDs that I bought and listened to. Like you used to get your favorite songs and just skip to it, but with the record player, you got to listen to them all. So you find songs that you didn't love back in the day, and I love them now. So that's what I like about it.
Boys, I have to catch a flight, and we kind of went a little bit long. You guys can continue. RA, I don't know if you had anything written up about Larry Brooks, and I was just going to ask you if. Did you have something?
I did, yes. I had it toward the end. We can obviously do it right now. Yeah, Larry Brooks, the great New York Post hockey writer, true character of the game, passed away. It was announced this morning on the New York Post. And on behalf of all of us, we extend our deepest condolences to Larry's family, his friends, his New York Post peers, and everybody in hockey media who knew him. It's just a true legend of the game, a character, a one of one. So I get condolences. And in the same vein, to my niece, Kayla, Rob, Sherry, Kim, Jerry, the rest of the Cuoco family, I send you my deepest sympathies on the loss of Papa Joey. This is my niece's other grandfather who just passed away, and just kind of got the news today. It was suddenly. So I love you guys. I'll see you soon.
Sorry,
I'm so sorry for your loss. Love Papa Joey. I'll see you guys soon. So, Biz, if you got to skedaddle, I just got a couple more picks out.
Yeah, and I just condolences to the Brooks family as well. Like me and G got a text from his son Jordan today, and he just mentioned how much of a good time he had coming on the pod, and I was just thankful at the fact that we got a chance to interview him. Legendary hockey writer, didn't have a problem going after the establishment and really didn't care. Man, he was a true journalist and just a real legend of the game of hockey and other sports and other things as well. But I really think he left his mark on the hockey world, and it's unfortunate that I believe it was cancer and it took a turn for the worst, and he was taken too soon at the age of 75. And actually, even like Wayne was he shot a text to the group text today of the TNT, and he reached out 4 days ago to Larry saying, "Hey, Larry, I heard maybe things aren't going so good. I just wanted to let you know we're thinking of you." And sure enough, so he's a legend, and a lot of people loved him. So once again, my condolences.
Dialed into the Rangers and what was going on in the league, and yeah, he was a titan of like hockey writing.
And you can see it goes back to like how much beef we talked about beef recently and how much he was loved. And you guys are going to see the result of the Internet Invitational, but just the response online to Larry Brooks's passing, like you could see how big of a giant he was and how well respected that he was, not only from all his colleagues, but also the players, man. Like go read what Henrik Lundqvist had to say about him. He played 15 years for the Rangers. So I'm going to take off here, but a tough way to end the pod. And thanks for writing that up, RA.
Of course, absolutely.
When you leave, we'll make sure we play the Peakin trailer.
Yeah, that's coming out the 19th. So we'll have another show before then, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. But we're in the final stages of editing, and it's going to be an incredible three episode series. So love you boys, great pod, and hopefully everybody enjoyed.
Safe travels, buddy.
Take care, busy.
I give this podcast 5 hogs.
There we go.
I forget who mentioned it last week, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago. It's like getting these guys in the Hall of Fame before they pass away. Like I'm so happy that Larry got into the Hall of Fame before he passed away. He was able to enjoy that with his family because it's well deserved. And having played in New York, and you have your run-ins with him daily. He's there every day, and I don't know if you heard Whit earlier, but I really enjoyed Larry. I know guys that I played with had some dust-ups with him or whatever, but he loved that shit. It was like he was there to grow the game. He was there to tell the truths about the game, stuff like that. But I think I liked him mostly because I never read any articles while I was playing, and it was just kind of like I didn't want to hate a guy for calling it how it was on the ice. Like you're not going to be good every night. You're going to get shit on in the media. But he definitely was a staple in that locker room, and he'll be missed. And I hope his family is doing as good as they can.
Well said, brother. Well said. Yeah, he was old school and had a lot of balls, man. We need more people like that in media, no doubt.
He'd still write stuff down, even later on. Like I remember him writing it down, and you try to look at what he was writing, you could not understand it. You couldn't
chicken scratch.
It was just like 1 or 2 words, like for every sentence. It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, well said. But so we'll finish up a couple picks here. Last week, good week in the pucks. I gave out over 6 Bruins Toronto. It was a 5-3 Bruins win. I said if Tampa starts Vasi versus the Caps, he did. They won that. Shit the bed in the NFL, though. I don't know what I was thinking. I took the Cardinals. They got fucking smoked from the jump, and the Niners made it interesting. Boom, they lost. So last week it was pretty much a wash, but this weekend, I like a few things this weekend. Today, Nashville is playing at 2 o'clock. They're over in Sweden versus the Pens. We're going to take the Predators here. I think Penguins have been struggling a little bit. I think Saros should probably get the start. He has been playing great there. We're going to jump on Nashville to pick him. And as always, put half your play on the puck line, which would probably be about 220. Let's see, Saturday, Tampa and Florida. First game of the year between these two hated rivals. Again, if Vasi starts for Tampa, jump on Tampa. He had a shitty start last game, and number one goalies typically respond with a good effort. So we're going to take Tampa. Don't have a line yet. Per usual, take the money line, and then half of your money line bet put on the puck line. Saturday night, 2 other teams. I'm riding these 2 teams probably to pay my friggin' rent for the next year. Anaheim over Minnesota. They're in Minnesota. Again, no lines yet. They lost a tough one with Colorado last night. And then San Jose over Seattle. They're in Seattle. Again, bet the money line and then half of your bet put on the puck line. San Jose, they're a moneymaker. They're only 2 points out of a playoff spot right now. So let's see. Hopefully we keep it rolling, boys. So I did wear up a few bucks on the air, but hopefully a few we were tailing.
Can you bet the amount of penalties because I think that Florida-Tampa game.
I saw Tampa called some guys up too.
That Sabrin's playing. He's the one who hit Eki behind the net, started all the shit. So it's going to be a shit show, I think.
Yeah, that's a good call. Like total penalty minutes or something. Yeah, I'll poke around.
I'm not sure.
Freaking bet on everything else nowadays, so probably that too. So, all right, boys. Any other final notes before we part here?
We just got let everyone know that Monday's show it will not be live. It'll drop at 6 a.m. Monday. We're going to record Sunday evening. I think Keith has some stuff going on with the lacrosse tournament. Merles might hop on, but we have we have a trip to LA. We're doing some sandbaggers. We're doing a bunch of pretty big interviews. So we're going to be flying all day Monday. We won't be able to do it live. So 6 a.m. drop. Then Thursday, which would be the 20th, will be Sandbagger. There's a Sandbagger dropping. I got a view of that. It's excellent, a lot of fun. And Wednesday, the day before that, the 19th, will be Biz's first episode of Peakin. So I think we play that trailer now, and then everyone know that Monday won't be live. It'll be live wherever you get it at 6 a.m. So you want to play the trailer, G? Boom. There you go. 19th, 25th, December 3rd, 3 episodes. Can't wait to check that out. Good work by Biz. Good work by Donnie Does. RA, shout out RA's World and all the warthogs you gave out for the movies. I'll have to check out LA Confidential.
Definitely.
Thank you to everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday, 6 a.m. this time. Peace.
Arrivederci.
Peace.